Do you wake up every day feeling really happy? Sometimes it can feel like you know exactly what you need to do, while other times you feel lost in the rush of life, looking for something more meaningful. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to lose sight of what really matters. We often seek quick happiness and the approval of others, but what if there is a way to find lasting joy? A calm that remains no matter what happens in life. Welcome to Stoicism's complete guide to building a happy life. Here we explore the ancient wisdom that is so relevant today. We invite you to discover the happiness that Stoic philosophy can offer. She teaches you to stay true to your principles, to see difficult moments as opportunities for growth, and to find peace in the present moment. Are you ready to transform your life from the inside out? Let's begin this journey together, exploring the secrets to a truly happy and joyful life. Everything will come naturally if you don't desperately seek love. What we are going to discuss today is related to this quote: "He who loves himself has no rival." When thinking about yourself, imagine yourself as a star. You radiate confidence and self-esteem. You do not depend on the love or approval of others. These inner qualities naturally draw people to you, just as gravity draws the moon to the earth. People are drawn to you without you needing to beg or make unreasonable demands. If you fully trust yourself, the complex dance of relationships and love can be seen from the perspective of Stoicism. To build authentic and rewarding relationships, it is essential to know yourself, trust others, and have good self-esteem. According to Stoicism, the key to true connections is being true to yourself, not constantly gaining or giving. People seeking personal growth also explore how choices they make today and tomorrow shape their lives. Remember, just like the stars, we are always changing. People naturally form and maintain meaningful relationships when they accept the best in themselves. How does Stoicism fit into this? These days, technology and social media often make it difficult to connect with real people, which makes it challenging to build authentic relationships. It's simpler to make close friends in this digital age, despite all its advantages. Stoicism and ancient wisdom, full of knowledge, may not speak directly to dating, but it can teach many lessons about this side of life. Ideas from Stoicism can help you understand the patterns that affect your mate choices. We talk about it on this program. It is crucial to be aware and understand things in our lives as Stoicism teaches us. By being keenly aware of the world around you, you equip yourself with the tools you need to achieve your goals in life. I believe it is better to use clear thinking rather than emotion when looking for a partner. People who are similar to you are more likely to share your values. An ancient philosopher named Epictetus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can hear twice as much as we speak." This means that when it comes to relationships, it's important to pay attention, not just to words. Don't believe the idea that love at first sight is real. Before we learn about love, this idea may seem beautiful in stories and movies. According to her, love is an instantaneous and strong emotion, usually caused by physical desire or an inexplicable energy. Things we see in society or in our own minds can influence us, but we should not be fooled by them. Love doesn't work like that. It is more like a plant that needs constant care. It requires a lot of attention, time, patience, trust, and effort to take good care of someone in this way. If someone disappoints you, it can be very painful for true love to continue. True love, passion, and sexual attraction are not the same thing. If you cross these limits, your relationship may not work out, or it may be difficult to move on. The emotional scars we carry after confusing moments can last for a long time, sometimes even for a lifetime. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, once said, "We suffer more in our minds than in reality." This statement especially resonates when it comes to the depths of sadness and discouragement. To truly understand love, it is essential to keep our minds clear and our feet firmly on the ground. Love is not something ephemeral, but rather a continuous process of growth and mutual respect. Understanding this truth is fundamental to cultivating healthy and lasting relationships. In a world that often seeks instant gratification, the idea that love is a slow, loving journey takes on even more relevance. Instead of looking for quick solutions, we are invited to see love as a long-term project, requiring patience and dedication. This mindset not only brings us a sense of inner peace, but also aligns with the Stoic principles of living in harmony with nature. This means not trying to force or rush love, but rather allowing it to flourish organically, respecting the natural rhythms of life. True love involves knowing someone deeply, committing to that person, and nurturing a deep respect for their uniqueness and value. Always remember that love is not just limited to romantic relationships, but also encompasses all forms of human connection. Whether in friendships, family, or partnerships, the basis of a healthy relationship is mutual respect and valuing the other as an individual. Throughout life, it is essential to remember the importance of the bonds we build with those around us. This is a lesson that transcends any specific context and enriches our lives in countless ways. Don't forget that love for another person should not eclipse love for yourself. Loving someone is a commitment that requires mutual care and respect, both for the other and for yourself. This equality of consideration is fundamental to healthy and balanced relationships. Remember Seneca's wise words, "We suffer more often in our dreams than in real life." This reflection highlights the importance of grounding our feelings in reality, avoiding unrealistic or excessively intense desires. Seeking love should not be a request or a demand, but rather a natural and reciprocal process. Working on genuine and shared love is building a connection based on knowledge and mutual respect for each other's needs. True friendships, like romantic relationships, thrive when cultivated with this Stoic balance of self-knowledge and self-love. Therefore, friends, seek to know yourself well enough to love yourself as the Stoics teach. This authentic and balanced love will emerge naturally, enriching not only your love life but every area of your life. Remember to apply Stoic wisdom to keep your feelings in check, allowing your connections to be sources of strength and serenity. This approach not only enhances your romantic relationships, but also enriches your entire journey through life. When you give something good, you usually get something good in return. According to the teachings of Stoicism, we must all do our part to make our community a better place, and this also applies to our personal relationships, especially romantic ones. For a partnership to be successful, it is essential to show our partner how much we value what they do for us, thus strengthening the bonds between us. This involves a balance of respect and mutual consideration, similar to the harmonious rhythm of a dance, where both parties contribute equally. An important lesson that Stoicism teaches us about love is to never beg for it. In a genuine relationship, both individuals must respect each other and recognize their own worth. According to Stoic teachings, it is essential to ensure that both people involved are putting in equal effort rather than counting who did what. The philosopher Epicurus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can hear twice as much as we speak." This means that when interacting with someone, we must pay attention to the needs of both, seeking a healthy balance between giving and receiving love. If you find yourself giving more than you are receiving in a relationship, it may be time to rethink the situation. It's important to maintain your self-esteem and know when it's time to move on, even if it's difficult. This is essential to maintain emotional and mental well-being. Stoicism teaches us to recognize when it's time to walk away from something that isn't benefiting us, rather than suffering silently. Let us follow the Stoic principles of exchange, ensuring that our relationships are built on mutual respect, understanding, and fair contribution as we navigate the ups and downs of love and relationships. True love should always be a source of joy and honor, never a burden, and it should flow both ways. Having self-respect in our relationships, like a beacon illuminating our path, will guide us toward true happiness and mental strength. Imagine yourself in a situation where you feel unhappy because of your partner's actions. If this situation continues, even after honest conversations and requests for change, you may end up feeling even worse and losing respect for yourself. When someone doesn't reciprocate the love and care you give, your happiness can begin to wane. Remember that you have the power and the right to leave a relationship that isn't good for you. During this time, it is important to love and respect yourself. Sometimes time can help heal emotional wounds, but scars don't necessarily mean you were seriously hurt. It is important to understand that we cannot control the actions of others. Following the Stoic mindset can help you see things more clearly and wisely. When we are faced with difficult times, Stoic philosophy, so eloquently expressed by Epicurus, offers us a valuable teaching. Although we cannot change circumstances, we always have the power to choose how to respond to them. Moving forward with dignity and self-respect is a prerogative that Stoicism gives us, allowing us to leave behind what afflicts us and, at the same time, carry with us the lessons and strength acquired. It is essential to understand that our thoughts and feelings do not fully define our identity. After a breakup, for example, we are faced with a crossroads. We can allow sadness and pain to consume us, or choose to move forward with integrity and self-esteem. By acting with dignity, we not only gain wisdom, but also a clearer perspective on our own life journey. This same resilient, centered mindset can be applied to challenges that arise in our relationships and in the sphere of love. Instead of being seen as insurmountable obstacles, these challenges become opportunities for growth and self-discovery. Thus, by internalizing the principles of Stoicism, we find a reliable compass to guide us through the turbulent waters of human emotions, providing us with the wisdom necessary to face these complexities with serenity and discernment. Looking for a life partner goes far beyond superficial physical attraction. Although appearance plays an important role in relationships, it is like a spark that starts the flame of love, but soon fizzles out. The Stoics taught us that external beauty is fleeting, as ephemeral as a leaf in the wind. Therefore, it is essential to look beyond the surface and value a person's inner beauty, posture, and points of view. Building a lasting relationship requires more than just youth and beauty. If based only on these fleeting aspects, the relationship risks being lost over time, as the external beauty inevitably fades. Instead, it's critical to seek a deeper, more meaningful connection. Beauty is a fluid concept, shaped by societal norms, and should not be the only criteria when searching for a partner. It is important to look to the future and look for a person who is intelligent, who can be a companion, a mentor, and a safe haven in difficult times. Prioritizing emotional, intellectual, and spiritual compatibility is fundamental to building a solid and enriching relationship. Therefore, do not dwell on the superficialities of the past, but rather aspire to a connection that transcends external expectations and is based on true essence and mutual compatibility. Think about what your relationship will be like in a few years. Stoic philosophy tells us to value wisdom and strength when choosing someone to build a life and family with. It's important to find someone who makes us feel safe and gives us a reason to work together. Both men and women can learn from these words when choosing a life partner. Furthermore, it is crucial to look for qualities that go beyond appearance. To have a lasting relationship, you need to find someone who is strong, deep, and true. The Stoics were not just concerned with external appearance, but with what was inside the heart. Following this advice will not only help you find a partner, but it will also ensure a path full of fun, growth, and lasting love. It is important to accept that no one is perfect and not look for an ideal partner, as we see in romantic photos. This helps us understand and maintain love. When we try to win the love of someone who doesn't feel the same way about us, we can lose sight of what makes us special and unique. This search can distract us and even change who we are just to please someone else. Stoicism teaches us to accept what we cannot control, including the feelings of others. We shouldn't try to manipulate or force someone to feel the same as us. This wisdom is useful for dealing with complicated relationships. When it comes to love and relationships, Epictetus, a famous philosopher, said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it." This means we must respect the freedom of others as well as our own. Love should not be a battle where people fight for respect or acceptance. It should be an opportunity for both of you to learn and grow together. If your feelings aren't reciprocated, it's important to take a step back and consider your options. Always remember your own worth, even if others don't recognize it. Focus on what you can control, your actions, your thoughts, and your path to happiness. Stoicism teaches us to avoid the pursuit of illusory ideals that only bring us disillusionment, and prepares us to find true connections that enrich our lives. It's crucial to remember that the world is diverse, especially when it comes to matters of the heart. Rejection is not a reflection of your own worth. Oftentimes it happens simply because expectations or personalities don't align. As Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it." Being rejected is not a defeat. It is an opportunity to learn and grow. Over time, it becomes clear whether the direction we took was the right one. There are countless people out there who will genuinely recognize and value who you are, so keep searching for authentic connections with those who share your spirit and worldview. Each experience brings us closer to finding those who truly understand and value us. Your unique qualities and honesty are truly valuable. Every no you hear is just one step closer to the long-awaited yes that resonates with your soul. So don't see these no's as missed opportunities, but as stepping stones towards the destiny that awaits you. They are witnesses of how significant you are and promise a happiness-filled marital future that will certainly enrich your life. In this day and age where relationships often feel superficial and ephemeral, it's crucial to stay true to your principles and not compromise your core values in exchange for acceptance. Don't beg for love. The right person will not only recognize, but also value the real you. To receive the love you deserve, let your authentic self shine. A fundamental Stoic principle teaches us to focus on what we can control. This approach not only aligns with this philosophy, but also ensures that the love you find is genuine and fulfilling. An inspiring example of this is the relationship between the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius and his wife Faustina. In real life, they personified patient and true love. Marcus Aurelius, a convinced and wise Stoic, did not choose Faustina simply for her position or convenience, but rather for the depth of her character and the harmony of their souls. Their marriage was a living testimony to the Stoic values of moderation, justice, courage, and wisdom. As leaders of the empire, and also as partners in life, they faced challenges with calm and wisdom, demonstrating a shared resilience that strengthened them amid life's storms. Even in the face of personal loss and political upheaval, Marcus Aurelius and Faustina remained united, sharing an unbreakable bond sustained by moral courage and loyalty. Her story reminds us of the importance of cultivating relationships based on mutual respect, deep understanding, and the ability to face adversity together. The love story between Marcus Aurelius and Faustina teaches us a lot about love and partnership. According to the Stoics, love is a choice, a commitment to value someone's character and honesty over their appearance. It's important to look for someone who is more compatible with you than just a physical or financial match. Enduring qualities are what make a friendship meaningful. Marcus and Faustina, as Stoics, loved each other for who they were, not how they looked. As Seneca said, it is crucial to find a partner with similar beliefs and spirit as yours. In the complicated world of love and relationships, the chosen partner must be honest and have good character, ready to face the storms of life by your side. These are the foundations for a deep, satisfying, and lasting relationship. Remember that strong bonds, harmony, and ideals and mutual respect are the most important things in life and love. To find and maintain strong, deep love, follow these guidelines. It is essential not to give yourself completely to love, as life is brief. So enjoy all the good things life has to offer. When you're always late, it's easy to ignore problems. Relax and enjoy this wonderful life naturally. You are determined to work hard and find ways to move forward because you want the future to be even better and happier than the present. A life without regrets is a life without great regrets. Even if you face many failures, over time, you learn that failure does not define who you are. Even if you try hard, there are some things in life that are simply beyond your reach. Learn to appreciate what you have. Sometimes you will feel sadness and emotion when you love someone very much. As the saying goes, the deeper the love, the greater the suffering. If you give yourself completely to love, you may end up losing yourself and your life may fall apart. Don't allow this to happen. There was a girl and her boyfriend who shared a true story about how they couldn't live without each other. After 3 years together, he said he loved her very much, but he had to move to another place because of work. It took a while for the calls to stop happening. After this difficult conversation, he revealed to her that he was in love with someone else and wanted to end their relationship. She struggled to understand, trying to convince him to change his mind, begging and shedding tears. He called countless times and sent messages, hoping for a different answer. While he remained in the city for a few days, she waited, nurturing the hope of a reconciliation. His determination reached the point of boarding a train heading to his city in search of answers and a possible solution to the relationship. However, despite their efforts, the subject remained avoided between them. As the days went by, she began to realize that she was being treated disrespectfully and undervalued. It was then that she made a crucial decision: to move on. He borrowed money from a friend and took the courageous step of never looking back. In this challenging time, she experienced a sudden maturity, recognizing the need to prioritize her own well-being and dignity. Sometimes we can love someone deeply, but not receive the same love in return, which can be a painful experience. Demanding that someone loves you in equal measure is not always the best approach. Before seeking love from others, it is essential to learn to love yourself first. On the journey of life, many people will enter and leave our path, some remaining by our side forever, while others follow different paths. Sometimes a person may only be significant for a brief period, even if the love is deep. It's important to recognize that overly intense love can become suffocating, highlighting the importance of maintaining a healthy balance and cultivating self-love first. Have you ever found yourself so hungry for love that you would be willing to sacrifice your own nature and dignity to have it? It's an important question to consider. Before seeking love from others, it is crucial to cultivate love and respect for yourself. It's like building a solid foundation before building a house. Without this foundation, it is difficult to maintain healthy and satisfying relationships. Just like a car needs fuel to run, our body and mind need adequate rest to revitalize themselves after a tiring day. We often neglect sleep in favor of our daily activities, but it is essential to set aside time to rest. Lack of sleep not only affects our physical health but also our mental health, leaving us more prone to stress and anxiety. In today's society, competition for well-paying jobs is intense. Many people struggle to acquire the skills and qualifications necessary to stand out in the job market. It is common to see individuals dedicating long hours to studying and working, often sacrificing sleep in search of professional success. However, it is important to recognize limits and understand that adequate rest is essential for effective and sustainable long-term performance. "It's good to be alive and content with what you have now" is a saying that is often ignored by those who are constantly focused on achieving future goals. However, life is a brief and precious journey, which deserves to be appreciated in each moment. This wisdom is often lost on young people who are so immersed in the search for a bright future that they neglect the value of the present. It is natural to aim for success and constantly seek improvements, but it is equally important not to get lost in the desire for unattainable perfection. Taking care of your physical and mental health, enjoying moments of rest and having fun are essential aspects of a balanced and satisfying life. After all, there is no point in reaching the top if the path taken has not been enjoyed. Getting enough sleep not only rejuvenates the body, but also makes studying and working more enjoyable and productive. The habit of overthinking is a trap that many fall into without realizing it. Constant worries about the past and future can lead to unhappiness and anxiety, taking focus away from the present. The incessant search for perfection and concern about other people's judgment only increase this cycle of excessive thinking. It's important to remember that living in the present and adopting an optimistic outlook can bring more happiness and contentment to life. Don't allow the weight of unnecessary worries to weigh you down. Life is a journey full of wonderful moments that deserve to be fully enjoyed. Instead of allowing yourself to be consumed by stress, choose to be happy and calm, even in the face of challenges. Cultivate a calm and joyful attitude when facing issues and problems, remaining firm and resilient. Remember that life is too short to waste on unimportant worries. Have you ever found yourself in the position of being disrespected, ignored, or completely neglected, feeling helpless and worthless? If so, know that you are not alone. The journey we propose today is an exploration of resilience, inspired by the teachings of the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic scholar whose wisdom spanned the centuries. Marcus Aurelius not only ruled an empire, but also faced his own internal battles based on the ideals of Stoicism. His reflections are now a beacon of strength and comfort for those who feel marginalized or belittled. This journey into Stoicism is especially dedicated to you, offering you the tools you need to overcome disrespect. Just like Marcus Aurelius, you can find comfort and strength in Stoic thinking, no matter what challenges you face. The teachings of Marcus Aurelius continue to resonate to this day, offering us valuable guidance amid the adversities of modern life. On this journey, you will not only find inner peace, but also regain your innate dignity and power. Every moment dedicated to absorbing these lessons is a step in building an emotional armor, capable of withstanding even the cruelest words and the most difficult challenges. If you've ever felt compelled to stay strong in the face of life's difficulties, this journey is for you. By allowing Marcus Aurelius to be your guide, you will strengthen your mind with ancient wisdom, gaining a dignity that not only protects you from disrespect, but also propels you toward a life of unshakable power. Each insight you gain is like a brick added to that inner fortress, making you more resilient and confident in the face of life's storms. So give yourself over to this challenging journey and allow the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius to empower you to live with strength, dignity, and power. The first important lesson is know thyself, a powerful defense against disrespect. This ancient concept leads us to explore the world of Stoic wisdom. Stoicism is likened to a strong shield that protects us from the arrows of disrespect. This ancient saying echoes throughout philosophy as a constant reminder. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic emperor and philosopher, emphasized that knowing yourself is fundamental to protecting our mind. These are not just empty words. He said that our ability to control our thoughts, treating them with respect, is crucial to protecting ourselves from distorted perceptions. When we know ourselves well, we are safer in the face of disrespect and maintain our dignity. Why is it so important to know yourself when facing disrespect? Because this strengthens our foundations. When people treat us badly, they often prey on our vulnerabilities. However, when we are aware of our values, abilities, and limitations, it becomes difficult to be shaken by disrespect. Stoics believe that the best way to know ourselves is to be practical. It is essential to be honest with ourselves, reflect deeply, and ask questions about our values, strengths, and weaknesses. Making a list of unshakable principles and recognizing our characteristics is a powerful practice. This process is continuous. Even the strongest people need to reevaluate their lives from time to time. Our true self must remain constant despite life's changes. The teachings of the Stoics show us that authenticity is the key to achieving true happiness and satisfaction in life, what they called eudaimonia. Living in accordance with our true essence creates a solid foundation for our existence. Knowing ourselves not only protects us from disrespect, but also guides us in all areas of life. Imagine self-awareness as building an invincible castle within ourselves, a place where no disrespect can penetrate. The more we know ourselves, the less vulnerable we become to the opinions and judgments of others. Just as the walls of a castle protect its inhabitants from invaders, self-awareness defends us from the disrespectful words and actions of others. By understanding our own values, desires, and limitations, we strengthen the foundations of this inner castle. Each added brick of self-knowledge strengthens our defenses against external criticism and disregard. This journey towards authenticity not only frees us from the shackles of disrespect, but also allows us to flourish into our full potential. Therefore, seek to know yourself more and more deeply, building an internal castle that is truly unshakable in the face of life's adversities. The second lesson invites us to reflect on how we deal with other people's opinions, a central theme in Stoic philosophies. Epicurus reminds us that we have no control over what others think of us, and trying to change that only diminishes our integrity. This makes us question how much we allow external opinions to affect our inner world. Have you ever stopped to think about how much time and mental energy you've spent worrying about other people's opinions? Marcus Aurelius warns us that caring too much about what others think is like handing over control of your inner castle to them. But why do we care so much about what others think, especially when they are disrespectful? Part of this may come from the idea that we need the approval of others to feel good. However, Stoicism teaches us a different path. emphasizing that true approval comes from living in accordance with our values and our nature. Just as the walls of a castle resist external attacks, our inner integrity protects us from the negative influences of other people's opinions. By internalizing this lesson, we build a mental fortitude that allows us to navigate the turbulent waters of other people's opinions with serenity and confidence. Instead of seeking external validation, we find security in our own authenticity and living our deepest values. In this way, we free ourselves from the yoke of other people's expectations and embrace a life that is truly authentic and aligned with our inner being. When you're worrying about what other people think, take a break and ask yourself, why is this important to me? You'll often realize that it isn't, not in the grand scheme of things. Know that when someone disrespects you, it is just that person's vision, influenced by their own prejudices, fears, and limitations. This opinion should have no more power over you than a leaf falling from a tree. Freeing yourself from the control of other people's opinions is liberating. Think of these opinions as chains that bind you, and imagine freeing yourself from them one by one. Practicing this type of thinking can bring inner peace, just as the Stoics teach. The goal is not to become insensitive to all criticism. Constructive criticism from people you trust is helpful. However, it's crucial to distinguish between disrespect and helpful feedback. You will become a stronger leader, whether you are leading a country or just your own life, if you know how to differentiate between the two. This also develops wisdom. So the next time someone disrespects you, take a deep breath, think of Epicurus, and let it go like water off a duck's back. What others think is none of your business, especially when their opinions are disrespectful. It really shouldn't be. The third lesson we learn from Stoic wisdom is to focus on what you can control and let go of the rest. As Epicurus wisely said, we cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how to react to them. For example, when someone disrespects you with words or actions, it's easy to feel anger or frustration. That said, the Stoic view adds a new twist. What other people do and say is out of your control, but how you react is completely within your control. It's as if you were piloting a boat on the high seas. You can't control the waves or the weather, but you can control the rudder and steer the boat in the direction you want. Likewise, you can choose how to respond to disrespect. You can choose to let the hurtful words get to you, or you can choose to remain calm and keep your dignity intact. It is important to remember that what you think, you become. Thoughts become stronger when they focus on disrespect and hatred. Therefore, it is essential to direct your energy towards what you can control, your own mind and your reactions. Imagine yourself as the calm in the middle of a storm. Even though chaos is all around you, your heart is still there. By adopting this mindset, you become more resilient and able to face challenges with serenity and determination. Taking control of what you can and ignoring what you can't is the path to a calmer and more fulfilled life, aligned with the principles of Stoicism. But how can you apply what you've learned to everyday life? Start by listing the things you can control in the situation. Can you change what someone said or did? No. But can you control your own thoughts, feelings, and actions? Of course you can. Focus on what is in your control. Identify these things and focus on them, leaving the rest aside. It's like tending a garden. You can't control the weather or the quality of the soil, but you can water the plants, pull out the weeds, and create an environment conducive to their growth. Likewise, take care of the things you can control in your life and let go of the rest. By following this guidance, you are not only facing disrespect with equanimity, but you are also adopting the Stoic mindset. You rise above the turmoil around you and maintain a haven of inner peace. In this state of tranquility, disrespect has no room to thrive. So the next time you feel disrespected or upset, pause, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, which parts of this situation are in my control, and focus on them. Most of the time, disrespect is just noise that distracts you from the path of self-discipline and inner serenity you always seek. Fourth lesson: what we perceive is what we make reality. The fourth lesson in our learning journey from the Stoics is that our thoughts shape our reality. People who followed the teachings of the Stoics, including Marcus Aurelius, agreed with the idea that life is a matter of perspective. This highlights how our thoughts and feelings have a direct impact on our lives. Why is this relevant to dealing with disrespect? Because how we interpret an event largely determines the level of disrespect we feel. Imagine a rude comment. It can be interpreted as an attack on you or as a sign of the other person's problems or faulty reasoning. The key is your freedom of choice. Do you allow other people's opinions to influence your self-esteem, your day, or your mood? Or do you recognize that you have complete control over how you see things and what you think? You inadvertently give an action power over your emotions when you choose to view it as rude. However, by changing the narrative, this same action loses its strength. Suddenly it becomes a venomous snake that has lost its venom, capable only of hissing and wriggling, but unable to harm anyone. How can you apply this knowledge to your daily life? When someone shows disrespect, don't react immediately. Use this moment to choose how to interpret the situation. So ask yourself, does this really concern me, or is it a reflection of the other person's problems? Most of the time, disrespect reveals more about the person showing it than about you. Go further and try to completely change the perspective. Instead of feeling attacked or diminished, see this as an opportunity to reaffirm your convictions, your self-esteem, and your ability to overcome, using it as a mirror to examine your own strengths, not weaknesses. If you view disrespect as a challenge rather than a threat, you can turn it into a drive toward achieving your goals rather than letting it get in your way. This shift in mindset gives you power to overcome the initial pain and find personal growth and resilience in the experience. Fifth lesson, the power of your mind. Now let's explore the fifth lesson of Stoicism, which reveals a powerful truth. Your mind is like a fortress. One of the great advocates of this mental power, Marcus Aurelius, once said, "The soul reflects the color of your thoughts." In this lesson, we're going to talk about the incredible resilience and protection your mind can offer, especially when facing disrespect or external difficulties. Imagine a tall, imposing castle that stands steadfast in the face of storms and attacks. Your mind is that castle. When external things like disrespect try to invade your defenses, you still have the power to decide whether or not to open the doors. You have complete control over who or what you allow into your mind. Recognize this power and be aware of your true strength in this mental space. So how can we strengthen the mind? The first step is to understand the difference between the events occurring around you and how you choose to react to them. You may not be able to change the way others treat you, but you have complete control over how you feel inside. Keep an eye on it, like a king who is careful who enters his fortress. Just as a sovereign watches over the safety of his castle, you must be cautious about the thoughts, feelings, and ideas you allow into your mind. Practicing awareness is a powerful skill. It means being aware of your thoughts as they arise and evaluating whether they contribute positively or harm your inner peace. By cultivating this awareness, you enable yourself to stop negative thoughts at the door and examine them carefully before allowing them entry. Once identified, replace them with ideas that align with your values and vision of yourself. Be aware that developing emotional resilience is also key. Treat each disrespectful act as a simulated attack on your castle, a test of your walls and defenses. With each challenge faced, your defenses strengthen. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity and disrespect without letting yourself be shaken. Just like a well-guarded castle, it takes time to build your emotional fortress. It requires dedication, patience, and self-knowledge. However, once erected, it will offer a sense of unshakable peace and power. Remember that your walls are not made of stone, but of self-respect, wisdom, and the unbreakable spirit of Stoicism. With this internal strength, no type of disrespect can penetrate, guaranteeing your peace of mind and self-esteem. Sixth lesson, don't expect bad people to act good. In our sixth lesson, we will talk about expectations, especially those related to other people's behavior. Marcus Aurelius, a very wise man, once said, "If something outside disturbs you, it is your judgment about it, and you can change that judgment." In other words, if someone hurts you beyond what you consider acceptable, it's not their fault. It's because you expected something different from her. This doesn't mean blaming the person, but rather keeping your expectations in check. Imagine dealing with someone who always acts disrespectful or mean. Every time that person acts according to their nature, it hurts you. even if you were expecting something else. This lesson gives you the courage to stop expecting harmful people to act differently. This is part of who they are. Just like you don't blame a scorpion for stinging you, it's not helpful to feel emotionally attacked when someone is just being themselves. By not creating unrealistic expectations, you prevent your emotions from getting out of control. This proactive approach is like building more walls around your castle. When you know what to expect, you can prepare, keep your emotions in check, and deal with others clearly. In real life, if you notice that someone is mean or rude, you should adjust your expectations and how much you engage with that person without compromising your self-esteem. You can still be polite, maintain your dignity, and stay calm. It's not about that. It's about making smart choices for your mental and emotional health. Developing compassion is another part of this lesson. Remember that people who act out often do so because they are hurt, scared, or confused. This doesn't excuse their behavior, but it does offer information that can help you feel less angry or resentful. When you let go of these negative feelings, you can live your life the way you choose. The next time you encounter someone who is mean, don't be surprised when they act the way they always do. Remember Marcus Aurelius and adjust your expectations. Know that by making smart choices for your own health, you are practicing Stoicism in a very helpful way. 7th lesson. Being angry is like being trapped, but being kind is like being free. Now, in the 7th lesson, we will explore 2 different approaches to dealing with difficult situations: revenge and kindness. Seneca's wise words teach us that delay is the best medicine for anger. When someone hurts or disrespects us, it is natural to feel the urge to retaliate and seek justice. However, Stoicism reveals to us that revenge only generates more conflict, while kindness leads to freedom. Think about what happens when you seek revenge. At first, it may feel rewarding, like you're giving back something you deserve. But in reality, you find yourself trapped in an endless cycle of hostility and resentment. Each act of revenge provokes another, and you become entangled in this web of negativity. As long as you are immersed in this cycle, you will not be truly free. On the other hand, kindness is a different path. Being kind does not mean allowing others to walk all over you or giving up when they are unfair to you. It means choosing a path that frees your mind and emotions. What does this mean in your daily life? First, remember the previous lesson. Bad people often act this way because they are facing internal problems. So instead of responding with anger or retaliation, choose kindness. This not only stops the cycle of negativity, but also makes room for compassion and mutual understanding. By choosing kindness, you not only free yourself from the burden of anger, but you also inspire others to follow the same path. After all, being kind is an act of freedom that uplifts not only you, but also those around you. This understanding can inspire people to care about each other. Take a moment and reflect on what revenge will actually bring. Will it bring lasting happiness or trap you in a cycle of negative emotions? Instead of seeking revenge, try to calm things down. Remain calm and firm when expressing yourself and avoid harboring resentment. Choosing your battles wisely is key. Not every disrespect deserves a reaction. Sometimes choosing not to react is the best alternative. Fostering an environment where both parties can grow is possible when you show kindness. Your kindness can serve as a mirror, prompting the other person to reflect on their actions. Although it's not mandatory, when you practice kindness, you free yourself from negative feelings like anger, bitterness, or sadness. This lesson gives us freedom, which is the whole point. The power to choose our actions, our emotions, and ultimately, the direction of our lives. Compassion gives us the strength to take control of our existence, freed from chains and burdens, and allows us to live in accordance with our deepest values. In the 8th lesson, we delve into a Stoic practice that may seem peculiar at first glance, but turns out to be surprisingly effective: visualizing bad things. We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we react to them, said Epicurus, in a quote that resonates with profound wisdom. The essence of this practice lies in training our mind to deal with adversity, including situations of disrespect, with calm and resilience through negative thinking. But what exactly does it mean to view negatively? It consists of contemplating what could happen if things don't go according to plan. conflicts, losses, or acts of disrespect. You may wonder, why waste energy thinking about bad things? There are two fundamental reasons for this: preparation and appreciation. Firstly, by visualizing adverse scenarios, you prepare your mind for the possibility of bad things occurring, making them less shocking when they materialize. It's like going through a fire drill. Learning to deal with fire makes you better equipped to face a real emergency situation. This practice is not about feeding fear or anxiety, but rather about strengthening your ability to respond to challenges. Furthermore, by contemplating possible adversities, you value what you have more. Awareness of potential losses highlights the importance of the blessings present in your life, whether they are relationships, achievements, or moments of happiness. This reflection allows you to not only prepare to face obstacles, but also cultivate gratitude and appreciation for what you have. In this way, visualizing bad things is not an exercise in pessimism, but rather a powerful strategy for strengthening your emotional resilience and cultivating a mindset of gratitude and preparedness. Second, thinking about bad things that could happen helps you appreciate the good things in your life more. When you imagine losing something important or facing difficult times, problems like disrespect seem more significant in the moment. You recognize that things could be worse, which makes the present moment more bearable and even enjoyable. How can you make this part of your daily routine? Set aside a few minutes every day to visualize bad situations. Imagine losing something valuable, ending friendships, or dealing with disrespect from multiple people. Allow yourself to feel all the emotions that come with these images. Then return your attention to the present and realize that these bad things are not happening. Now let's connect this to how to deal with disrespect, as you have already imagined situations where you face disrespect. A single incident seems less impactful when you have already prepared for difficult times. You can say to yourself, "Oh, that's what I expected," and face the situation calmly and wisely. Your mental balance remains intact, and you move forward unshaken, ready to deal with whatever comes next. In the 9th lesson, we delve into essential practices of reflection and contemplation, which have been fundamental throughout the ages. Marcus Aurelius, with his timeless wisdom, reminds us, "The joy of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts." This ancient maxim underscores the importance of looking within oneself, a concept that resonates strongly in his enduring work, Meditations. But how can meditation and deep reflection help us deal with disrespect for a monarch's serenity? By engaging in these practices, we are empowered to closely examine our thoughts, emotions, and actions. Taking a step back from the situation allows us to see a more comprehensive view. In moments of intense emotion, such as when we feel disrespected, excessive involvement can cloud our view of the situation as a whole, leading to impulsive reactions or hasty decisions. Taking time daily for reflection and meditation can be a crucial anchor in the midst of emotional storms. This practice helps us calm the mind and clear our thoughts. By setting aside moments for contemplation, we give ourselves the space we need to consider things impartially. Even if someone acted disrespectfully, we ask ourselves, what were the reasons behind it? Was our response as appropriate as possible? Could we have taken a calmer approach? The practice of mindfulness meditation, in particular, enhances this process of reflection. By observing our feelings and thoughts without judging them, we develop a greater understanding of ourselves and the situations we face. This self-discipline enables us to respond calmly and wisely, rather than reacting impulsively to others' disrespect. This expanded awareness acts as a shield, protecting you against hasty reactions to disrespect or other adverse situations. However, its usefulness goes beyond simply evaluating events and responses. Imagine how you can apply these precious insights to your daily life. Maybe you realize that someone's disrespect has made you sad because of an unmet expectation. Or perhaps you discover that the disrespect touched a sensitive area in your life, revealing opportunities for personal growth. Whatever conclusion you draw, use it as a springboard for your personal development and to strengthen your resilience. Live Stoic principles more deeply by applying them to your daily interactions and the decisions you make. Be open to change, as it is through change that you grow and adapt to the complexities of life. By committing to this process of continuous self-improvement, you build a solid foundation to face challenges with serenity and wisdom. In the 10th lesson of Stoic wisdom, we delve into the art of accepting the inevitability of change. Seneca, in his wise observation, reminds us, "Whoever suffers before necessary suffers more than necessary." This leads us to understand that everything in life is temporary, including moments of disrespect. Disrespect, like all other things, is ephemeral. It can arise due to external influences, new experiences, or simply personal growth. Recognizing that these challenging moments are only fleeting strengthens us to face them with calm and equanimity. See this lesson as a beacon to light your way in dark times. Remember that unpleasant encounters do not define your essence. They are just temporary breaks in your journey. Just as storms come and go, moments of disrespect also have an end. By embracing the transience of life, you let go of the weight of holding on to bad memories and strengthen your resilience. Always keep in mind that change is inevitable. Ask yourself the question, will this matter a day, a month, or a year from now? This reflection helps preserve your mental peace, preventing you from sinking into unnecessary sorrows. Embracing change is not only a wise choice, but also an act of courage to appreciate the blessings of life, even when the clouds of adversity hang over us. Understanding that problems such as disrespect are temporary makes moments of respect, kindness, and joy even more valuable. When we look at things this way, we find balance, appreciating how negative things quickly disappear and positive things become precious. Lesson number 10 encourages us to go with the flow of life and accept that disrespect, like everything else, is part of constant change. When we accept that things change over time, we become strong because we know that no storm, no matter how strong, can shake our resolve. Have you ever felt like your life is spinning around and leaving you confused with unexpected emotions and changes? Today, we're going to explore the ancient wisdom of Stoicism and discover 10 secrets that will help you stay calm every day, making you as steady as a rock. That can't be shaken. When life gets difficult, it is sometimes difficult to understand how some people can handle the most difficult situations without losing their cool. Think about it. Stoicism, a philosophy that has influenced great thinkers over the centuries, holds the key to these people's resilience. It's like an ancient guide to overcoming life's ups and downs. It gives you the tools to stand firm when everything seems to be in chaos. Take care of the things that are in your control. Stoicism is a way of living that can transform who you are. The first step to focusing on yourself every day is accepting what you can control. Imagine that your life is like a marble sculpture, and you are the sculptor. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that has long been respected, teaches us to focus on what we can influence and let go of the rest. It's like having control over how you respond to life's events. The philosopher Epicurus once said, "We cannot choose the situations we face, but we can always choose how we react to them." That makes sense, doesn't it? Life presents us with challenges, like that block of marble. Now think of yourself carving marble with a tool. Every little piece you remove is a decision you make about how to deal with the surprises that arise. You are not at the mercy of events. You are shaping your own destiny. If all your problems and difficulties were like a blank canvas waiting to be painted, what would you do? Your attitudes and choices are what you need to transform difficult moments into something beautiful. It's not about trying to control what can't be changed. It's about understanding how you react and making your life truly yours. You can't control the traffic, someone cutting in line at the coffee shop, or the rain soaking your shoes. But do you know what you can control? What you choose to do is crucial. This can completely change the situation. For example, you can choose to be sad about the rain or enjoy dancing in it. What do you think is the best choice? Doing this makes you feel free, doesn't it? If there's something you can't control, Stoicism has a suggestion. Create your own path. Don't allow your emotions to be dominated by what is happening around you. Don't just be a victim of circumstances, be an active creator. So think of life as a big picture, and you are the artist who is carefully painting each part of it. Recognize that you have the power to choose how to react, what to decide, and how to feel. Although things may go wrong sometimes, if you follow the principles of Stoicism, you won't just be a passive observer. you will be actively shaping your own destiny. Start creating your own journey with this mindset. Amor fati, which means love of destiny, is a profound concept that we must embrace our destiny, regardless of what it brings us. Seneca, one of the great thinkers of Stoicism, teaches us this valuable lesson. Amor fati is not just an empty idea, it is a deep commitment. But what does this really mean? It's not just about passively accepting what happens in life. It's about embracing every moment, loving it and finding meaning in every experience we face. View challenges as opportunities to grow, not as obstacles that hold you back. Seneca is not telling us to simply endure hardship. He wants us to embrace them, hold them tight, and recognize them as essential parts of our journey. See every surprise that life brings us as a chance to show what we are capable of. It's like saying to the universe, I'm ready for whatever comes. I'm not just here for the easy times, I'm here to face the challenges head-on and emerge even stronger. It may seem like a grand concept, but it makes all the difference in the real world. Have you ever stopped to think that difficult times can be real opportunities in disguise? Imagine yourself no longer complaining about the challenges that life brings you, but embracing them as chances to show your resilience, to display your ability to overcome adversity. It's not about pretending that everything is perfect, but about choosing to see the beauty even in the most intense storms. The philosophy of Amor fati invites us to cultivate gratitude not only in moments of prosperity, but also in times of difficulty. After all, the people and events that challenge us aren't trying to ruin our day. They are offering us the opportunity to grow, to transform into better versions of ourselves. So, the next time life surprises you with an obstacle, smile. Open your arms to welcome your destiny like a longtime friend, because every mistake, every difficulty, is a precious stone on the path of your personal journey. Remember, life does not follow a straight line, but rather a winding path, full of twists and turns. Amor fati is the magic that transforms every turn of this journey into a significant step in building your own personal epic. Memento mori, a powerful expression that reminds us of the inevitability of death. It seems dark at first glance, doesn't it? But Stoics believe this idea can completely transform our perspective on life. Imagine yourself immersed in everyday activities, in the whirlwind of everyday life. The Stoics invite us to step back and reflect. Wait a moment, remember that life is fleeting. It may seem like a weight on your shoulders, but that is precisely the purpose. While you're there sitting on the couch, scrolling through your phone, the question arises, should I chase my dreams now or put them off for later? That's where memento mori comes into play. This reminder of death is not to frighten us, but to inspire us to live more meaningfully. She invites us to prioritize what really matters, to pursue our dreams with determination, as time is finite and precious. It's like a gentle reminder whispered in our ear, not to let life slip through our fingers without us having done what we really want. So, the next time you come across this expression, remember, it is an invitation to live fully, with purpose and passion. Just as the wise Marcus Aurelius reminds us, friend, at any moment, even now, you can depart this life. These words are not said to cause fear, but to motivate us. It's about understanding that our journey in this world is ephemeral. Ephemeral like a flower blooming in the morning and saying goodbye at dusk. The Stoics warn us about this brevity to encourage us not to postpone what is truly important. Imagine yourself facing your last day in this world. What would you do? What dreams would you pursue? What would you say or think when saying goodbye? The Stoics want us to use this perspective as a driving force. It's not about living in fear, but with purpose. When we understand how ephemeral life is, each moment becomes precious, like sparkling pearls scattered throughout time. This understanding invites us to rethink the common habit of procrastination, something we all struggle with. Why put off until tomorrow what we can do today? Marcus Aurelius warns us, let the knowledge of our mortality guide our actions, words, and thoughts. It's not about acting impulsively, but about ensuring that our choices are aligned with our deepest values and desires. It could be reconciling a worn-out friendship, following a latent passion, or simply savoring the small joys of everyday life. When you feel the temptation to procrastinate something important, remember memento mori. not as a grim reminder, but as a radiant beacon on the horizon, reminding you to live authentically and fully. After all, life is a fleeting gift, too precious to be wasted on hesitation and uncertainty. Let's explore Epictetus's interesting idea about the two types of control, known as the control dichotomy. It's like discovering a treasure. It is simple, but full of profound wisdom. So, let's go. That's life, right? Some things, like what we put on our pizza, are within our control. Other things, like winning the lottery, are beyond our reach. Epictetus, an ancient sage, explains this to us. Imagine your life as a bag full of things. There are two categories in this bag. First, there are things we can control, like our emotions, the effort we put into our tasks, and how many times we hit the snooze button. Then there are things like the weather, the traffic, or the neighbor singing at night. No matter how long we wait, we cannot change it. Here's the interesting part. Epictetus tells us to become superheroes and only focus on the things we can control. Why? Well, it's how to get rid of stress and anger. Imagine you are playing a game and you only have so much time and energy to use. Not being able to control how you use this energy is like wasting it. It leaves you tired, worried, and, to be honest, a little frustrated. Focusing on what you can control is like taking charge. Instead of being a victim of circumstances, you become the captain of your own ship, confidently navigating through whatever storms arise. So the next time something doesn't go as planned, take a deep breath, remember the dichotomy of control, and ask yourself, can I do something about it? If the answer is yes, you can take action and be the hero of your story. If the answer is no, let it go. As Epictetus wisely said, there's no point worrying about things we can't change. Recognize the power you possess and watch your worries melt away. This way, you will be ready to face whatever life brings you. Imagining negative situations may seem strange, but it can be helpful. By simulating the temporary loss of something valuable, you can better appreciate what you have. It's like cleaning a foggy window to see clearly what's outside. Furthermore, this mental practice prepares you to deal with the setbacks that life may present. By training your mind to cope with imaginary loss, you strengthen your ability to deal with real challenges. It's like putting on armor before battle, making life's blows less painful. Imagine yourself in a scene worthy of superhero training, where you see yourself facing challenges, overcoming obstacles, and emerging stronger. In this mental simulation, you are preparing yourself for difficult moments that may arise in real life. It's as if you are training your mind for battle, strengthening it to deal with any adversity that may come your way. This ability to visualize bad moments with clarity and resilience may seem like a strange talent at first glance. However, this practice not only allows you to more fully appreciate the positive moments in life, but also prepares you to face future challenges with courage and determination. Instead of being caught off guard by life's misfortunes, you face them head-on because you have already faced them in your mind. This negative perspective is not about getting stuck in negativity, but rather about using these experiences to cultivate gratitude and find positive lessons in the midst of difficulties. So think of this skill as a valuable tool that empowers you to transform darkness into light, pain into growth, and uncertainty into wisdom. The goal is not to wallow in the bad, but rather to use these challenges to strengthen your resilience and prepare you for a future filled with gratitude and self-confidence. In the sixth lesson, we will dive deeper into Marcus Aurelius's idea of the inner fortress. Imagine it as having your own castle of courage inside you, a refuge where you can shelter when life gets hectic outside. Sometimes stressful work, family problems, and a host of other worries can make life seem like a real mess. But, according to Marcus, when we face external difficulties, we can turn to our inner strength like true superheroes. This fortress is not a physical place with high walls. It's more like a sanctuary inside your mind. It's where you take back control, away from the hustle and bustle outside. It's the space where you can stay calm and focused, even when everything seems to be falling apart around you. For example, if your boss is yelling at you or you're under a mountain of pressure, you can don your superhero mental cape and retreat into your inner fortress. There, you can find peace and decide how to act, protected from the madness of the outside world. Marcus Aurelius isn't just suggesting you find a quiet place to relax. He's giving you the keys to your own mental castle where you can discover your inner power. It's like you're developing a superpower that helps you stay calm even in the most stressful situations. Imagine yourself as your own superhero, capable of facing any challenge with determination and strength. It's not about running away, but about facing the world with all your mental courage. So the next time life gets complicated, remember your inner strength and face challenges like a true hero. In the 7th teaching, we delve into the practice of detachment, a crucial skill that Stoicism offers us. Imagine it as if you were being given a life jacket called healthy detachment and being encouraged to use it. It's not about becoming aloof or distant. It's about preserving your own inner worth regardless of the opinions and judgments of others. Stoicism whispers, hey, your worth is not on trial in the court of others' opinions. Visualize Epictetus, the great Stoic master, holding your arm and revealing that you have a superpower, the ability to not be easily shaken and to remain calm regardless of the circumstances. Let's understand this better. Detachment does not mean living in a bubble, completely ignoring what is happening around you. It's more like having feelings that are coated in a layer of Teflon. You may experience lucky breaks, but they don't last forever. External results such as successes, failures, praise, and criticism come and go like passing clouds in the sky. Stoicism invites you to find your intrinsic self-worth and value within yourself, without being shaken by the volatility of the external world. Epictetus, the Stoic master, taught that you have the power to choose not to form an opinion about something and not to allow it to disturb your inner peace. Imagine yourself navigating the chaotic sea of social media, where opinions and comments surge from all sides like turbulent waves. But you are the guardian of your inner peace, so let everything pass and stay calm. Stoicism teaches you to be like an unshakable rock in the face of the storms of life. For example, imagine you are gathered with your family and Aunt Susan expresses disapproval of your career choices. Instead of letting your words ruin your day, stand firm and allow Stoic philosophy to protect your mind. Why? Because your value is not tied to Aunt Susan's approval. It's like watching the spectacle of life behind the scenes. You enjoy the show and the atmosphere, but when the critics start talking, you remain calm, enjoying your latte. Stoicism isn't just about maintaining a calm appearance. It's about having a heart that beats at its own pace, regardless of what's going on around you. In short, make the practice of detachment a daily habit. Adopt the strength of not being affected by external opinions and allow the waves of life to crash around you while you maintain your integrity. Stoicism gives you the freedom to dance against adversity because you know your worth is an inner light that cannot be blown out by the wind. 8th, do what is right, say nice things, and think sincerely. Act justly, speak kindly, and think honestly are 3 of Seneca's pieces of advice that have stood the test of time. Imagine living a life where your every action, word, and thought is motivated by virtue. It's not just about living well. It's a plan to become a moral beacon that enlightens and inspires those around you. Your actions are the threads that make up the story of your character in the great fabric of life. Being fair means using a moral guide to find your way through the maze of options and making choices that are in accordance with justice and righteousness. It's about being the person who, when faced with a moral choice, chooses the path that makes the world a better place for everyone. Being kind isn't just about saying nice things, it also means infusing warmth and understanding into your words. Imagine having a conversation where every word you choose is not just a sound, but a form of healing and discovery. Speaking kindly casts an aura of positivity into the air, creating an environment conducive to genuine connections and deeper relationships. Thinking sincerely is like having an internal beacon that illuminates the darkest corners of your mind. It means being honest with yourself, even if it's uncomfortable. It's about facing the truth head-on, even when it's easier to hide behind excuses or lies. Thinking sincerely allows you to make decisions based on reality, not illusions. Sincere thought is like the silent engine that drives everything we do and say. Imagine your thoughts like seeds planted in a garden. They sprout and blossom in words and actions. Seneca advises us to cultivate a garden of honest thoughts, where dishonesty and self-interest have no place. It's about adopting a mindset where sincerity is the foundation, letting your deepest convictions guide your public interactions. Following these rules, doing what is right, being kind, and thinking honest thoughts turns you into a living example of virtue. When you live ethically, it becomes a silent lesson, teaching not just with words, but with the living example of your life. Imagine the impact that people who follow the classic teachings of Seneca could have in a world often dominated by chaos and conflict. They not only make an impact, but also build a culture founded on fairness, kindness, and honesty. Acting kindly, speaking kindly, and thinking sincerely not only improve their lives, but also contribute to making the world a better place. As you navigate the vicissitudes of everyday life, remember Seneca's simple but profound advice: do what is right, speak kindly, and think honestly. Thus, you will see your life transform into a masterpiece of virtue, inspiring those around you to follow the path of a more meaningful and compassionate life. In the whirlwind of our everyday lives, it's easy to get lost in old memories or worry about what the future holds. Yet amid the mists of uncertainty, there is a shining light that guides us. The power of now, a pearl of wisdom from the Stoics. Imagine yourself sitting at your desk, mulling over that silly thing you said last week, or perhaps staying up all night, worrying about what tomorrow will bring. At such moments, Epictetus would tap him on the shoulder and say, "Wait a moment, my friend. The past is gone, and the future is yet to come. But what is real in this moment? It's like being in a great movie, where past scenes are left behind and what's to come remains a mystery. What really matters is what is happening right now, before your eyes." Epictetus reminds us that we must take control of our own lives, shine a light on the present, and live each moment as if it were the only one we truly possess. This moment is like a blank page in a book. The pages of the past cannot be changed, and the future is yet to be written. However, now is where the power of our action lies, where we can decide our next steps and shape our own destiny. So take advantage of this moment, as this is where true freedom of choice and the opportunity to write your own story lie. Why waste your life worrying about yesterday's mistakes or tomorrow's uncertainties? Epictetus invites us to look around and connect with the pulse of the present, to savor each moment as if it were unique. The most meaningful things in life are often the little things that happen every day. A sip of coffee in the morning, the warmth of the sun on your face, or the comforting sound of rain. Of course, life is not always smooth sailing. There are times when the present is more like a storm than a sunny day. However, being present in the moment has transformative power. Even when chaos reigns, now awareness keeps you grounded, reminding you that in the midst of turmoil, it is still possible to find calm and meaning. So, my friend, take a deep breath. Look around you and realize the magnitude of this moment. As Epictetus teaches us, face it head on, for it is the only reality. Your past may be a teacher, your future may be a mystery, but the now is where the true magic of existence lies. In the 10th lesson of Stoic wisdom, we are reminded of a fundamental principle. Virtue is the only true good. Imagine yourself standing at an intersection with several roads stretching out before you. Some promise fame, wealth, or pleasure, while others can lead to silence, conflict, or even the sacrifice of something significant. Amid this crossroads of options, the Stoics whisper a truth that echoes through eternity. Virtue is the only thing that truly matters. But what is this virtue so extolled by the Stoics? It's not just about being a saint or a hero. It's about living in line with your deepest values, acting with kindness and integrity in every decision, action, and word. It's not about seeking the approval of others or accumulating fleeting material wealth. It's about cultivating an inner richness that transcends the ephemeral joys of the outer world. The Stoics taught that virtue is the essence of life, the foundation on which character is built, and the light that guides in the most difficult moments. However, living according to virtue is not always easy. It requires courage to stand up for what is right, temperance to resist temptation, and wisdom to navigate the complexities of the human experience. Despite the challenges we face in pursuing virtue, it remains the standard by which a life well lived is measured. While many seek short-term benefits, the Stoics remind us that investing in virtue is like accumulating gold in a world where wealth is ephemeral. While others chase instant gratification, you are building something that will last forever. Always remember the ancient wisdom of the Stoics. Virtue is the only true good. Let her be your North Star, that bright light that lights your path in the darkest moments of doubt and uncertainty. When you choose to live by virtue ethical principles, your life becomes a powerful testimony to the transformative power of kindness in a world desperately seeking meaning. Stoicism, an ancient Greek philosophy, offers valuable lessons about finding inner peace by accepting things that cannot be changed and focusing on those that can. In this video, we will dive into the depths of these lessons and explore how each principle can be applied to help us separate ourselves from people and events that upset us. Taking a step back and distancing ourselves from a person for a while is one of the first measures recommended by Stoicism to detach ourselves from them. It's not about running away from the problem. It's a proactive strategy for gaining perspective and preventing our emotions from clouding our judgment. Stoic philosopher Seneca's letters to Lucilius emphasize the importance of taking time for introspection and self-knowledge. He wrote, "Withdraw as much as you can into yourself. Surround yourself with people who will make you better and welcome those you can make better." The reflection process works like a two-way street. While we teach others, we also learn. In simple terms, this means taking a moment to think about what happened and how we feel about it. Stoicism teaches us that we have control over our emotions and that by taking a step back, we make space to choose our actions wisely. It's easier to reflect on our feelings and thoughts when we are alone. At this moment, it is important not to let our emotions influence our decisions. Instead, we must analyze the situation objectively. The Roman Stoics believed that self-knowledge is the first step to controlling our feelings. Seneca's words corroborate this idea. Imagine yourself in a noisy and chaotic city. According to Stoicism, it would be wise to take a brief break when dealing with difficult emotions or confusing situations involving other people. These moments of introspection allow us to reconnect with ourselves and evaluate our reactions more clearly. Finding a peaceful place within ourselves is a skill valued by the ancient sages, the Stoics, who often discussed this search for inner serenity. Seneca, one of these sages, advised, "Retreat into yourself as much as you can." This is a powerful suggestion, which invites us to momentarily step away from the whirlwind of life to see things more clearly. Think of it like hitting the pause button on a game. It's not abandoning the game, but rather taking a brief break to realign your thoughts. Just like the weather, our thoughts come and go. Stoicism teaches that taking a break allows us to calm the mind and rationally consider our next actions. It's not about running away, but finding a moment of stillness in the chaos of everyday life. Stoics encourage us to take a step back because they recognize that our emotions can overwhelm us, making it difficult to make thoughtful decisions. In difficult times, taking a break allows us to see things clearly when the emotional storm calms down. It is at this point that we can act based on reason, instead of being guided only by the emotions of the moment. If you need to relax, consider going for a short walk, sitting in a quiet park, or simply being alone in your room. Having a dedicated space where you can think without interruptions is highly recommended. Remember, it's not about avoiding people permanently. It's about finding a moment of peace for reflection. Thinking carefully about the need to distance yourself from people is the second step to distancing yourself from them. Stoicism challenges us to pursue eudaimonia, or fulfillment through moral virtue, and encourages us to align our actions with reason and virtue. This is our natural inclination, according to the Stoic concept of oikeiosis. Appropriation or familiarization, as described by Stoicism, refers to the idea of becoming familiar or engaging with the people around us. However, not all partnerships or relationships contribute positively to our personal and moral growth, something similar to what Epictetus, one of the Stoic philosophers, taught us about making wise choices regarding the people we interact with. The Stoics remind us that although many things are beyond our control, we always have the power to choose how to react to them. When evaluating our interpersonal relationships, we must consider how these people impact our sanity and moral growth. Ask yourself, Does this person contribute to my emotional well-being and my development as an individual? Stoicism reminds us that walking away from relationships that are not beneficial to us is not a sign of weakness, but rather of wisdom and virtue. Just as we carefully choose our actions and words, we must also be selective about the people we associate with. Choosing friendships that encourage us to grow, challenge us to be better, and support us on our ethical journeys is fundamental to cultivating a life of meaning and virtue, in accordance with Stoic principles. Therefore, when considering our relationships, we must remember that it is more valuable to have a few true and wise friends than to have many superficial and unhealthy relationships. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher born a slave, exemplified the central message of Stoicism by emphasizing the importance of inner freedom regardless of external limitations. Imagine being with your friends and one of them does something that negatively affects your mood. At this moment, according to Stoic teachings, it is crucial to reflect on whether continuing to live with this person is really beneficial for you in the same way that you would choose your friends carefully. In simple terms, it's as if you ask yourself, is being around this person contributing to my personal growth and happiness, or is it making things more difficult for me? Stoic philosophers would call this considering whether it is smart. The fundamental idea is to assess whether the relationship is enriching or harming your life. Stoicism values choosing people and circumstances that promote our moral and emotional development. For Stoics, good friends are like watering cans for our inner plant. They nourish and strengthen it, helping it to grow and prosper. However, toxic relationships can be like storms that damage our plant, making it more difficult to flourish. Therefore, when evaluating interpersonal relationships, it is crucial to recognize whether these connections strengthen or weaken us. Carefully choosing the company we keep is essential to cultivating an environment that allows us to grow, prosper, and achieve a life of meaning and fulfillment in accordance with the principles of Stoicism. If being around someone makes you happy, Stoicism suggests that it's important to have a little space between you and them to feel safe. It's not about being cruel or ignoring problems. It's about making choices that are good for your mental and emotional well-being. The goal of Stoicism is to improve all areas of life, including relationships with those around us. Detachment, which is the third step, although it values self-discipline and inner strength, does not mean that you should isolate yourself, because people are naturally social. Following the Stoic path involves seeking advice and support from people you trust. Stoic philosophy encourages us to have honest and open conversations with those we trust. In the third step of detachment, a mental friend in the Stoic view is someone with whom we can talk about our worries, fears, and problems. Seneca deeply explored the value of friendship and its role in our journey toward virtue in his writings. He said that having a trustworthy friend, someone with whom you can talk honestly, is a great blessing, almost as important as having common sense and a balanced personality. Talking to a trusted friend who shares the same values of virtue and wisdom as Stoicism can be very comforting and enlightening. According to Stoicism, being part of a community and strengthening social ties are essential aspects of the path to detachment. When we're dealing with difficult emotions or complicated situations, talking to someone we trust can be incredibly helpful. This person can be seen as a smart friend who is willing to help. Stoics firmly believe that we should not face our challenges alone. They teach us that it is important to have someone with whom we can share our thoughts and feelings, like fighters have their teammates. According to Stoic teachings, opening up about our problems with a friend is like having a special tool for dealing with life's adversities. It could be a close friend, a family member, or even a teacher in whom we place great trust. It's like choosing a friend to play with. When things get difficult, tell him what's going on. This conversation can happen face-to-face over the phone or even via text message, whichever is most convenient. Remember, you're not doing them a favor, it's just sharing the burden. They may also offer you suggestions or information you hadn't thought of before, just like a good playmate. Stoicism teaches that dealing with problems is easier when we have a friend by our side. The fourth step of Stoicism, detachment, highlights that we should not ignore our feelings, but rather recognize and control them. According to Stoicism, it is important to realize and accept our feelings, keeping them under control. By setting limits on our emotions, we can face challenges with a calm, collected mind, preventing our feelings from dominating our thinking. Think of your emotions as colorful blocks that sometimes stack together to form a tall tower. Stoicism suggests that it is wise to limit how high your feelings can reach. According to Stoicism, it is natural to feel emotions when we face difficulties, but we must ensure that they do not disrupt our stability. The Stoics compared our emotions to colored blocks. Although they are fun, if stacked too high, they can become unstable. They advocated finding a balance, such as building a tower tall enough to be interesting, but not so tall that it falls. Imagine your emotions as different colors on a paint palette. There are shades of happiness, sadness, anger, and many others. Now, think of yourself as the artist holding the brush in front of that palette. When you face difficult times, you can decide that you will let these colors flow, but with a defined purpose. It's like building a tower of color blocks. You set the height, you determine how far these emotions can go. These boundaries are like the solid foundation of a tower you build, giving you control over your emotional experience. In the emotional tower world, you are the architect, able to decide the height of each block. This doesn't mean suppressing your emotions, but rather accepting them and dealing with them constructively. You allow them to be present, but you don't let them dominate or take down your tower. This is the core of Stoic teaching, finding a balance that allows you to face emotional challenges without being overwhelmed by them. In this way, you build an inner fortress capable of resisting the storms of life with resilience and firmness. Imagine yourself in an open field, surrounded by paths branching off in different directions. Each path represents a choice you can make, and the fate of each trail is shaped by your decisions. Now imagine that you are about to separate from someone important in your life. It's as if you are facing a crucial fork in the road. This is where the fifth step to disconnecting comes in, a careful analysis of the possible repercussions. Stoicism, an ancient but relevant philosophy, encourages us to think about the future, to weigh the long-term effects of our actions. This aligns with the idea of prus, which means paying attention to the present moment while considering future consequences. It's as if we are looking beyond the horizon, trying to glimpse what is to come. The great Stoic Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, whose meditations still echo through the centuries, reminds us that it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we often waste it on choices that could be better. In this sense, when it comes to disconnecting from someone, it is crucial to consider how this decision can affect not only the present, but also the future. Imagine yourself examining each path, each choice, with the eyes of reason and virtue. You see the possible results of parting ways with this person, perhaps a sense of renewed freedom, the space for personal growth and mental health, or perhaps regrets and a sense of loss. Stoicism warns us to consider all the pros and cons before making such a significant decision. It's as if we were building a mental map, tracing the possible paths and choosing the one that best serves us in the long term. Imagine yourself walking through a dense forest, with tall trees and deep shadows all around you. You find yourself standing at a crossroads where several paths lie before you, each representing a choice to be made. Thinking about leaving someone according to the principles of Stoicism is like deciding which of these paths to follow. It's like you're on a journey, trying to chart the best course for your destination. In Stoicism, looking to the future is essential. It's like planning every move in a strategic game. Just like in the woods, when you decide to walk away from someone, you want to have a clear idea of where that might take you. The Stoics firmly believe that anticipating outcomes helps us make wiser decisions that benefit our lives. Imagine that the person you are thinking about moving away from is at the beginning of the forest, while you are facing two different trails. Choosing to move away from it is like pondering the possible destinations of each path. It's as if you are carefully considering the different directions, imagining the ramifications of each. If you wonder what could happen if you separate from this person, thinking about the future is like having a map to guide you through the forest. This map helps you make more informed and conscious decisions. As Stoicism teaches, it is important to consider the possible consequences before making a decision as significant as this. It's as if you are carving your own path through the forest, ensuring that each step is taken with wisdom and clarity of purpose. Imagining the future is not about becoming a seer, but about adopting a careful and conscious approach to life's journey. It is as if we are walking carefully along the paths of existence, observing each step with caution and consideration. The sixth step to detachment, according to the teachings of Stoicism, is to take a break from social media. Nowadays, the intense use of social networks has become an integral part of society, but this can often compromise our emotional health. This is where the enduring wisdom of Stoicism comes into its own, offering us guidance on how to deal with these digital platforms and the constant flow of information they provide. By temporarily disconnecting from social media, we give ourselves a moment of pause to think and reflect. This allows us to shut out the external noises that often cause mental agitation, providing us with a peaceful space to contemplate our deepest thoughts and feelings. It's as if we are temporarily turning off the channels that flood our mind, allowing us to breathe and regain inner clarity. Think of social media as a big puzzle. Sometimes it can be confusing to decide what to do when there are a lot of pieces. According to Stoicism, there's nothing wrong with taking a break from that digital puzzle to give your mind a break. It's like taking the puzzle pieces off the table for a while so you can think about them again later. According to Stoicism, our mind needs breaks, just like our body. Sometimes we can receive a lot of messages, photos, and news on social media. Stoics say that taking a break from this digital puzzle can help keep our minds focused and clear. Treat social media like you're putting together a puzzle. It's okay to take a break if you start to feel like you're moving away from the puzzle and doing something else. For example, you can go for a walk, read a book, or simply spend time without technology. According to Stoicism, taking a break can help your mind handle more information without becoming overwhelmed, as can deciding when to work on a project and when to take a break. It's about controlling your time online. Stay focused. The idea is not to abandon social media entirely, but to prevent it from becoming too overwhelming. Avoiding certain people and situations is like adjusting the focus of a camera to clearly capture what really matters in our lives. Stoicism, which values self-reliance and inner strength, encourages us to direct our attention to our own wants and needs. It's as if we are learning to select the right ingredients to prepare our emotional meal, ensuring that each choice contributes to our stability and well-being. Think of life as a grand banquet filled with a variety of tempting dishes. Some are delicious and satisfy our immediate desires, while others may not be as appealing. In this banquet of life, Stoicism guides us to act with discernment, carefully choosing what we put on the plate of our experiences. It's as if we were in the section of a supermarket, deciding between healthy foods and tasty treats. The Stoics remind us that what we desire is not always what is best for us in the long run. Just like opting for a fresh salad over a tempting dessert, Stoicism encourages us to prioritize what is nourishing for the soul rather than simply satisfying momentary desires. Imagine your life as a big menu filled with a variety of tempting options, from delicious dishes to less healthy appetizers. Just like in a restaurant where you choose what you order, Stoicism invites us to be selective about the people, activities, and experiences we include in our journey. Instead of grabbing everything that's available, it's like we're consciously deciding on the dishes that will make us feel good in the long run. When we apply this principle to the menu of life, we are prioritizing what truly matters for our emotional well-being and personal growth. It's as if we were in the supermarket aisle, choosing between healthy foods and less nutritious options. Stoicism reminds us that what we are instantly attracted to is not always best for our long-term emotional health. By saying, "I will choose the things that are good for my heart and my head," we are committing to self-care and the pursuit of genuine happiness. Just like opting for healthy snacks over fast food, Stoicism encourages us to make choices that nourish our soul and lead us to a state of lasting contentment. It's an approach that values quality over quantity, focusing on what really makes us grow and prosper as individuals. Stoicism offers us deep thoughts and useful advice to help us move away from certain people and situations. We act in accordance with Stoic virtues when we temporarily step back, think logically about the need for distance, communicate openly, set limits on our feelings, consider the consequences of our actions, disconnect from external influences such as social media, and focus on meeting our basic needs. Stoicism, with its long-standing wisdom, teaches us that true detachment lies in finding inner peace and resilience as we deal with life's difficulties and the complexities of interpersonal relationships. Our inspiration comes from Stoic ideals, which guide us to a life of virtue, wisdom, and mental well-being. According to Seneca, true happiness lies in living the present without worrying excessively about the future. Sometimes it's better to stay silent and let our actions speak for themselves. This profound idea from Pythagoras prepares us for what we will explore today. Silence, in the light of Stoic philosophy, emerges as a multifaceted tool, capable of shaping and transforming situations in different ways. In 9 key contexts, we will explore how silence not only has intrinsic value, but can also trigger profound changes in our lives. The ancient Greek philosophers, the Stoics, were true virtuosos in this practice, understanding the power of a peaceful mind. As Epictetus, a Stoic master, so wisely observed, silence is not just the absence of sound. It reveals a serene mind, free from the disturbances of the external world. When faced with gossip, Stoicism offers a precious approach. This philosophy, centered on self-control, enables us to see beyond appearances, entering the intricate world of human relationships, especially when permeated by intrigue and rumors. The true source of our strength lies in our thoughts and actions, not in external circumstances. According to this ancestral philosophy, when we understand that we have control over our own inner peace and well-being, we are strengthened, remaining unshakable in the face of adversities and murmurs that may arise around us. Stoicism teaches us to adopt a reflective stance when faced with gossip, a common but potentially harmful occurrence in social interactions. Instead of reacting impulsively, we are encouraged to contemplate events calmly. Learning to remain calm in the face of rumors and adverse situations is a skill that we can improve through this philosophy. Thus, we can navigate the turbulent waters of lies while preserving our identity and dignity, nurturing an inner strength that makes us resilient in the face of adversity. The essence of Stoicism lies in the belief that we have the power to shape our reactions to external events. This means that we are not hostage to other people's gossip and opinions. On the contrary, we can exercise our inner power to defend ourselves and maintain our emotional balance. Choosing to focus on what is within our control, our thoughts, feelings, and reactions, is not an act of resignation, but rather a gesture of power and autonomy. With grace and wisdom, we can deal with the challenges of gossip if we draw on Stoic teachings. This doesn't mean we should ignore what others say or do. It simply means we choose not to let their words or actions shake us. Stoicism guides us to face these situations with serenity and determination, emerging from them with our integrity and convictions intact. Stoic thinking is especially useful these days when we are surrounded by an avalanche of information and fake news. It helps us focus on our own actions and thoughts, distinguishing what is in our control from what is not. By applying these principles to our lives, we not only take care of our mental health, but also serve as an example to others on how to deal with life's challenges with balance and sincerity. Stoicism is like a sturdy shield that protects us from the blows of gossip and external judgments, as it places great emphasis on inner peace and resilience. This philosophy empowers us, showing that our happiness and well-being are not at the mercy of external events or opinions, but rather under our control. When facing challenging situations, Stoicism advises us to remain calm and avoid getting involved in conflicts and gossip. He invites us to resist the whirlwind of lies, preserving our identity and maintaining a posture of inner strength and resilience. This is not a passive stance. It is an active choice to take control of our own lives. Being self-aware means not allowing external circumstances to affect our emotional state or self-image. When we face gossip, this involves analyzing situations with discernment and detachment, understanding that other people's words and opinions are just points of view and not the absolute truth about us. Furthermore, Stoicism reminds us that we have the power to change our reactions to the adversities that arise around us. This philosophy enables us to cultivate a growth mindset and develop the ability to respond with serenity and wisdom in the face of life's trials. Imagine your life is like a vast menu, full of tempting options, from inspiring people to activities that challenge the mind and body. According to the principles of Stoicism, it is as if we were facing an infinite buffet where we are invited to make conscious choices, opting for what nourishes our happiness and well-being in the long term. Just like selecting healthy foods over fast food, Stoicism reminds us of the importance of carefully choosing the experiences and relationships that nourish our soul and mind. In a world full of distractions and demands, it's easy to get carried away with immediate options without considering the long-term impacts. However, by adopting the Stoic perspective, we are encouraged to make choices that contribute to our personal growth and help us achieve a true sense of contentment and fulfillment. Instead of being seduced by superficial short-term offers, we can reflect on what really brings us lasting joy and genuine satisfaction. Choosing foods that are good for the heart and mind means prioritizing the activities and relationships that make us feel alive, connected, and fulfilled. This approach helps us avoid the trap of immediacy and guides us toward a more authentic and meaningful life. Stoicism gives us important advice for dealing with difficult situations and complicated people. Following Stoic principles means taking a step back when necessary, thinking calmly, speaking openly, setting limits on our emotions, considering the consequences of our actions, moving away from negative influences like social media, and taking care of our basic needs. Stoicism, with its ancient wisdom, teaches us that true detachment brings inner peace and makes us stronger when facing life's challenges and complicated relationships. Our encouragement comes from Stoic values, which guide us to a life of kindness, wisdom, and mental well-being. According to Seneca, true joy lies in enjoying the present moment, without worrying about what is to come. Sometimes it's better to stay silent and let our actions speak for us. This profound idea prepares us to understand the importance of silence. In the spirit of Stoic wisdom, let's explore how silence can be valuable and transformative in a variety of situations. Silence, often underestimated, has a huge impact on how we connect and find peace within ourselves. Ancient Greek thinkers, known as Stoics, were experts in this practice. They knew that tranquility makes us stronger. As the wise Epictetus said, "Silence is not just the absence of sound, it reveals a peaceful mind." What about gossip? Stoicism, based on self-control, offers a powerful way of seeing the world full of human relationships, especially when it comes to gossip. Our true power lies in our thoughts and actions, not in external circumstances. According to this ancient wisdom, understanding that we have control over our inner peace and well-being gives us strength despite the rumors and negativity around us. Rather than reacting impulsively to gossip, which is a normal but potentially harmful part of social life, Stoicism suggests that we calmly think about the situation. Learning to stay calm and not be affected by gossip and negative comments is a valuable lesson we can learn from him. We can face the challenges of gossip and preserve our identity and dignity by responding with inner strength and resilience. Stoic philosophy teaches us that we have the power to choose how we react to events around us. This means that we are not defenseless in the face of other people's gossip and opinions. Instead, we can defend ourselves and maintain our internal balance. Choosing to focus on what we can control, our thoughts, feelings, and reactions, is not giving up without a fight. We can deal with the challenges of gossip gracefully and intelligently if we follow the principles of Stoicism. This doesn't mean we should ignore what others say or do. We just decide not to let it affect how we feel or how much we value ourselves. Stoicism guides us, allowing us to face these problems with calm and inner strength, emerging victorious, with integrity and firm in our convictions. In the information age, where news and misinformation flood our feeds daily, the Stoic approach offers a beacon of clarity amid the confusion. By turning inward, we can discern between what is within and outside of our control, a fundamental tenet of Stoicism. This not only strengthens our mental health, but also serves as an inspiring example to others, showing how to face life's challenges with integrity and discernment. Stoicism does not teach us to ignore adversity or external judgments. Rather, It enables us to deal with them in a balanced and conscious way. By prioritizing our inner peace and resilience, we discover that our happiness is not at the mercy of external circumstances, but is shaped by our own internal disposition. Thus, we can face the storms of life with serenity and determination, refusing to let ourselves be drawn into the tumult of gossip and unnecessary drama. Following Stoic principles is not just a matter of self-preservation. It is also an expression of compassion and wisdom towards others. By remaining calm in the face of adversity and refusing to be drawn into futile conflicts, we demonstrate a higher way of dealing with life's vicissitudes. This approach not only nurtures our own resilience, but also inspires others to find their own inner peace amidst outer chaos. Stoicism teaches us to weather the storm of lies and preserve our identity by choosing to respond with inner strength and resilience. It is not a passive position, it is an active way of taking control of ourselves. Being self-aware means deciding not to let what happens around us affect how we feel or see ourselves. When it comes to gossip, it means observing things wisely and from a distance, recognizing that the words and opinions of others are just points of view, not absolute truths about us. Furthermore, Stoicism teaches us that we can change how we react to what happens around us. Think about the story of Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher who was born a slave but found strength and wisdom in his situation. It's important to remember that we can't control what happens in the outside world, but we can control how we react to it. This story shows that Stoics believe we can shape our own stories and find meaning even in difficult times and loss. Stoicism is not just about overcoming challenges, it's also about thriving despite them. He teaches us to remain calm when things go wrong, to keep our principles and honesty first, and not to let external events or the opinions of others affect our inner peace. By encouraging us to live a life of virtue and inner strength, this theory helps us deal with the losses we will inevitably face throughout life. Following these Stoic principles helps us feel in control of our emotions. This does not mean hiding our feelings, but rather understanding them and dealing with them in a healthy way. It's about developing resilience so that we can live a calmer, more meaningful and fulfilling life in today's world. Imagine facing a challenging situation at work. You receive unfair feedback from a colleague or supervisor. In moments like these, the Stoic approach can be a real lifesaver. Instead of reacting impulsively or letting anger take over, a practitioner of Stoicism would take a step back, allowing themselves to assess the situation calmly and clearly. By adopting this mindset, we are able to separate the emotion from the event, looking at it from a more objective perspective. Instead of seeing unfair feedback as a personal blow, we can view it as a learning opportunity. Stoicism teaches us to transform adversity into growth, finding valuable lessons even in the most challenging situations. Imagine peeling back the layers of this unfair criticism, seeking to understand the motivation behind it, and considering how you can use this experience to become a better version of yourself. This is the true power of Stoic philosophy. Not only does it help us face life's challenges, but it also empowers us to turn them into opportunities for personal growth. The key is to live by our values, even when we face adversity. Remaining calm and honest, even in the most difficult circumstances, allows us to remain true to who we are and what we believe. And by following these principles, we find a source of inner strength that allows us to face life's injustices with courage and resilience. At the end of the day, Stoicism reminds us that true happiness and satisfaction come from living a life aligned with our deepest values and goals. By adopting this mindset, we are able to face life's ups and downs with a calm mind and an unwavering spirit, finding meaning and purpose in every challenge we face. Imagine yourself faced with an unfair situation, whether at work, in a personal relationship, or in a broader social context. These moments can trigger a range of intense emotions, from anger to the feeling of needing revenge. It is at these times that Stoic philosophy shines with its timeless wisdom. Seneca, one of the great Stoic thinkers, reminds us of a profound truth. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. These words resonate like an echo of wisdom through the centuries, inviting us to rethink our approach to life's injustices. Stoicism challenges us to reconsider how we invest our time and emotional energy. Instead of allowing negative feelings like anger and bitterness to consume us in the face of perceived injustice, we are encouraged to turn our attention inward to our own reactions and actions. In doing so, we discover a new source of power and resilience. It's not about denying the reality of injustices, but about choosing how we respond to them. Instead of being victims of our emotions, we become masters of our own mind, able to face even the most difficult challenges with calm and discernment. Stoicism invites us to cultivate a mindset that values time and energy, directing them towards what we can control, our own actions and attitudes. By shifting our attention away from external injustices over which we have no control, and focusing on how we can act with wisdom and integrity, we discover a source of inner strength that empowers us to live a life of meaning and purpose, regardless of the circumstances we face. If you think you can't achieve this strength, it could be that you have chronic anxiety which prevents you from living a light life without mental problems. To achieve this, the Stoics knew very well that they had to ensure that this did not happen. If you think you have this problem, click on the link in the first comment and watch a video I made showing how to overcome this problem. Stoicism, with its approach centered on action and resilience, invites us to take a reflective pause in the face of life's injustices. It reminds us that even when faced with challenging situations, there is always something we can control: our own thoughts, feelings, and actions. This philosophy does not ask us to passively accept injustices, but rather to approach them with calmness and clarity of mind. Instead of being consumed by anger and the need for revenge, we are encouraged to seek constructive responses and avoid actions that could make the situation worse. Imagine yourself in an emotional storm, about to be swallowed up by anger and the desire for retaliation. Stoicism is like a guiding light, showing us a way out of this whirlwind of negative emotions. It empowers us to find a balanced response based on reason and inner peace, rather than reacting impulsively in the heat of the moment. This Stoic lesson teaches us that true strength lies not in the uncontrolled expression of anger, but rather in the ability to respond to life's challenges with serenity and discernment. By adopting this approach, we discover a new sense of personal power that allows us to navigate the turbulent waters of existence with wisdom and effectiveness. When life presents us with challenges, think of the calm Cato the Younger. He faced major political and personal problems with unwavering sincerity and reason. Even amid chaos and injustice, Cato remained true to his convictions. He shows us that it is possible to remain calm and common sense even in the most difficult situations. The Stoics tell us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we cannot. Cato's life illustrates how effective this is. Finally, Stoicism reminds us that time is precious and that how we use it determines the value of our lives. By following Stoic principles, we can deal with life's injustices wisely by remaining calm and focused on finding positive solutions. This approach not only increases our resilience, but also makes our lives more peaceful and fulfilling. In this complex journey of life, we often find ourselves facing the tumultuous seas of other people's ignorance when we insist that we know more than others. This route can be particularly difficult. However, Stoicism shows us a different path, like a light in the darkness. When we allow ourselves to be carried away by ignorance, becoming angry or frustrated is like fighting the wind. This only makes the storm worse and slows us down. Seneca, a great example of Stoic wisdom, lights the way with these words: "Be human among humans and remain human forever, regardless of the misfortunes that may arise." Imagine yourself on a vast ocean, where dense fog obscures vision and choppy waves test a ship's stability. In this scenario, the captain cannot afford to lose his composure. He must remain steadfast, sailing with wisdom and determination to ensure the safety of his crew and vessel. Likewise, in our lives we encounter challenging situations that envelop us in a fog of ignorance and conflict. It is at these times that Stoic wisdom proves to be a reliable compass. Instead of letting ourselves be carried away by emotional chaos, we choose to follow the example of the wise captain, maintaining calm and control over our reactions. This does not mean that we acquiesce in ignorance or passively submit to it. On the contrary, By remaining calm in the midst of the storm, we demonstrate an inner strength that transcends the external turmoil. We choose a path of understanding and compassion rather than giving in to conflict and disagreement. Just like the ship that sails deftly through the fog, our ability to remain calm and resilient in the face of ignorance not only preserves our inner peace, but also lights the way for those who are lost in the darkness. By choosing serenity over hustle and bustle, we become beacons of hope in an often tumultuous world. Marcus Aurelius, an ancient Roman leader, once said, "The best way to take revenge is to be different from the one who did the wrong." This means that when facing misinformation, we must strive not to be ignorant like those who spread misinformation. Instead, we should be like lights that illuminate the path to knowledge and understanding, not by harshly rebuking others, but rather by setting a positive example in our own lives. This lesson is very valuable. We often act quickly to judge, respond, or correct others. Stoicism teaches us about the virtue of silence in these situations. It's not just about being quiet. It's about choosing when to intervene. If we encounter inappropriate behavior in our personal relationships, at work, or even on social media, the calm approach is to think about whether our actions will be constructive or just escalate the conflict. Stoicism, with its ancient wisdom, can guide us when we are faced with stupidity. This ancient philosophy not only advises us to control our emotions and reactions, she challenges us to do so, creating a space of calm and inner tranquility amidst the chaos of ignorance that surrounds us. It is an invitation to cultivate a serene mind that is not disturbed by the wrong actions of others. By choosing to respond with calm and poise, we not only protect our own integrity, but we also contribute to a more peaceful and constructive environment. Stoic virtue goes beyond patience, involves understanding and empathy for others. It is in these moments of serene responses and reflective silence that the Stoic ideal stands out even more. Imagine a garden where the seeds of knowledge are planted and cultivated. In this garden, each interaction is an opportunity to water these seeds, allowing them to blossom and grow into wisdom. When we are faced with ignorance, we can choose whether to water those seeds with kindness and understanding, or let them dry in the sun of criticism and judgment. Choosing to treat stupidity with kindness not only nurtures our own inner peace, but also creates fertile soil for future constructive relationships. Instead of responding with sarcasm or hostility, we choose to respond with empathy and patience, creating an environment conducive to mutual growth. This approach not only allows us to grow individually, but also lays the foundation for meaningful and respectful conversations. Imagine that each kind word is like a seed planted in the soil of another person's mind, ready to germinate into understanding and wisdom. Remaining calm in the face of provocation is an act of self-control and resilience. It's like holding the reins of a wild horse, directing its energy toward a constructive purpose. Rather than allowing emotion to overwhelm us, we choose to act with thoughtfulness and integrity, defending our values while building bridges to deeper understanding. This approach is not a passive acceptance of ignorance, but rather an active, thoughtful response that promotes individual and collective growth. As we cultivate this garden of wisdom, we not only enrich our own lives, but we also leave a legacy of compassion and understanding for future generations. The Stoic lesson on dealing with stupidity is like a guiding beacon amid the darkness of ignorance. She reminds us that our response has the power to transform not just the situation, but also ourselves and those around us. It is as if it were a call to action, encouraging us not to react impulsively, but to respond with the serenity and wisdom that characterize a true Stoic. Each encounter with stupidity then becomes an opportunity for growth and improvement, a chance to strengthen our character and light the way for others. As we navigate the turbulent waters of human interactions, it is important to remember that although the ocean of ignorance is vast, we are the captains of our own ships. We can choose to not only deftly navigate these waters, but also guide others with our quiet leadership and virtuous example. Being Stoic does not mean dominating others or imposing our will on them, but rather finding our strength in the inner calm and integrity of our character. On the path of Stoicism, silence is not just the absence of words, but a powerful tool of communication. It's as if we're telling the world that we're here to listen, learn and grow, rather than talking without thinking. As Epictetus wisely observed, we have 2 ears and only 1 mouth, an indication that we should listen twice as much as we speak. This humble attitude allows us to absorb knowledge and better understand the complexities of life, while cultivating patience and understanding in our interactions with others. The Stoic practice of silence among those who boast of their achievements is like an invisible armor that protects our inner tranquility. When we come across someone who boasts about their achievements, it's as if we're in front of a fireworks show, bright on the outside but empty on the inside. Stoics understand that true greatness lies in virtue and personal integrity, not in the empty search for external recognition. By remaining silent in the face of those who seek validation outside of themselves, we not only deprive them of the external support they seek, but we also strengthen our own sense of worth and self-worth. We become like an unshakable fortress, firmly rooted in our own inner conviction. Choosing silence is an act of self-mastery and self-confidence, a silent declaration that we don't need the approval of others to feel valid and complete. This practice is not just about keeping words quiet, but also about an inner stance of confidence and emotional independence. It's as if we tell the world that we are enough on our own, that our worth is not subject to external opinion or validation. While chatters constantly seek validation from others, Stoics find their strength in the quiet stillness of their own essence. This moment of silence also shows humility. It's like saying without words that, although achievements are important, they do not define a person's value. This fits well with the Stoic idea that what really matters are internal character and values, not just external success. It reminds us that our journey is not about being better than others, but rather about cultivating our inner principles. Furthermore, when we choose silence, we give space for reflection and personal thought. It's a time to analyze our own values and beliefs and see if our actions are aligned with them. This type of silent reflection is very valuable and can bring us deeper insights than simply talking. When someone is proud of their accomplishments, our silence can be interpreted as a gesture of support, allowing them to express themselves without interruption. This creates an environment of respect and understanding. Using this approach can facilitate more meaningful and authentic conversations where everyone feels heard and valued. Giving someone the opportunity to speak is an example of true active listening. In doing so, we learn more about them and ourselves. Lastly, choosing silence over bragging is yet another way to help us find joy in our journey. This supports the Stoics' idea that we should focus on our own growth rather than constantly comparing ourselves to others. Following this approach leads us to a more fulfilling life and strengthens our mind against adversity. It is crucial to remember that our journey is unique and should be valued as such, without getting carried away by comparisons. In short, choosing to remain silent while others brag is not an act of passivity. It is a conscious and powerful decision. This shows a solid understanding of self-esteem, humility, personal reflection, respect, and happiness. This lesson remains relevant today, helping us live a life of peace, inner strength, and deep wisdom in the modern world. The 9th lesson of Stoicism, titled The Power of Silence, is like a compass that guides us through the choppy seas of false narratives. As we enter this realm of Stoic wisdom, we are reminded of a fundamental truth. Not all battles deserve our participation, especially those that are rooted in fabricated stories. Stoicism is not just a theory, it is a guide to living with integrity and discernment. In these situations where falsehoods run rampant, responding to or trying to refute the stories can often be like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. Here, silence becomes an act of resistance, a courageous break with the endless cycle of gossip and distorted information. It is more than the simple absence of words. It is a silent declaration of our steadfastness and authenticity. By choosing silence in the face of lies, we are erecting a shield of dignity around our essence. We demonstrate that our self-esteem is not fragile, dependent on the volatile opinions of others. As the Stoics teach us, our attention should be directed to what is within our control, our own actions and responses. Thus, by sheltering ourselves in the powerful embrace of silence, we not only preserve our integrity, but we also raise a banner of authenticity and inner strength. Silence is not just a strategy, It is an act of courage and wisdom, shaping not only our external interactions, but also the core of who we are. Silence, in addition to being a powerful tool, also offers a window to understand more about how narratives work and how they influence our interpersonal relationships. By refraining from participating in these superficial and often harmful conversations, we gain a privileged perspective on those who propagate and believe them. It's as if light has been shed on why people engage in gossip, allowing us a deeper look into their motivations and values. Furthermore, silence can be an effective antidote to prevent misunderstandings from turning into irremediable conflicts. When we choose not to feed gossip with our attention or response, it tends to lose strength and disappear. This approach aligns with the larger goal of promoting peace and harmony, rather than fanning the flames of conflict. Practicing self-care by staying silent in the face of gossip is a way to protect our mental and emotional health. By preserving our inner peace and avoiding the stress and sadness that gossip can cause, we strengthen our emotional resilience. It's like building a fortress around our well-being, holding us firm even in the face of the storms of intrigue and deceit. How do you deal with sadness and suffering? You can express them, hide them, or transform them. Sometimes sharing your sadness can cause more problems than it solves. Unfortunately, some people feel a strange satisfaction in seeing others suffering, making the situation even worse. This confusing mix of envy and pain can really stunt our personal growth. It can appear in different areas of our lives, such as at work, among friends, or even within the family. Yet within you lies a great source of power ready to be tapped, the ability to transform your weaknesses into unshakable strength. Now is the time to explore 18 profound principles from the philosopher Epictetus, whose ideas have stood the test of time. But there is more to discover. Please become actively involved in this journey to know yourself better and grow as a person. So let's focus and pay close attention to what will be shared in the next important moments. Rule number 1, so simple and profound, reminds us of a basic truth. We should listen twice as much as we talk. Look around you and notice how incredible our bodies are in their simplicity. One mouth and two ears. This is not a mere coincidence, but a wise suggestion to remind us of the importance of listening carefully to the stories, pains, and joys of the people around us. Epictetus, the wise Stoic, gave us a powerful phrase. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can hear twice as much as we speak. These words echo the wisdom that listening is not just a skill, but a door to learning. While talking can be easy and impulsive, the real power lies in knowing when to be silent and devote our attention to what is being shared with us. Through listening, we are able to see situations from different perspectives, expanding our understanding of the world around us. Learning life's hard lessons and creating meaningful connections requires more than just talking. Before you open your mouth again, ask yourself, does your contribution add value, or are you just filling the void with meaningless words? Remember that the best lessons often come from the simple act of listening to others' stories and experiences. By embracing this fundamental rule, we cultivate genuine wisdom and strengthen the bonds that unite us as human beings. Second principle, don't let what other people say or do control your life. Ever feel like the words and actions of others have the power to shape your happiness and well-being? Every unpleasant criticism or comment seems to tug at your heartstrings, deeply affecting your state of mind. In his insightful wisdom, Epictetus reminds us that we have control over our own feelings on this stage called life. There is no need to allow bad moods or other people's opinions to dictate how we feel. Yes, recognize that it is difficult. Words can cut like a sharp knife. However, when we succumb to anger or weakness, we give our power into the hands of others. When we allow criticism to get us down, we are essentially giving up control of our happiness. It's time to reclaim that key, not with resentment or hatred, but with calm, firm determination. Regain your inner peace and joy by remembering that they are under your exclusive domain. As Epictetus reminds us, the path is not easy, but ask yourself, is the price of regaining your mental freedom not worth the effort? Isn't it time to cut the ropes that bind you and dance to the beat of your own music? Third rule, be prepared for the worst that could happen. The unpredictability of life can be like an emotional roller coaster, leaving us grappling with fear of the unknown. The uncertainties we face, such as the fear of losing a job, worries about our children's future, the pain of a broken relationship, or the fear of financial bankruptcy are like dark clouds that hang over us. These thoughts haunt us, forming an incessant whirlpool of stress and anxiety. Yet in the midst of this whirlwind of emotions, Epictetus's wisdom offers us a bold perspective. He encourages us to expect the worst and face the possibility that what we fear most may have already happened. At first glance, this idea may seem scary, even disturbing. Yet within this singular approach lies a profound truth. By confronting our worst fears head-on, we discover that we are capable of overcoming them. Life, with all its complexity and unpredictability, can be navigated with resilience and dignity when our spirit is freed from the tyranny of what-ifs. Accepting the worst does not mean surrendering to defeat, but rather embracing the courage to believe that we are stronger than the adversities we face. Epictetus reminds us that rather than bowing to the storms of life, we should face them with the conviction that we are capable of triumphing over them. Fourth principle, don't be afraid to fail. That's the only way to improve. Imagine a world where mistakes are like precious stones, opportunities for growth that take us to new horizons, not just professionally, but in all areas of life. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, viewed failure as a friend, not an enemy. Why? Because I understood that true growth is only possible when we free ourselves from the fear of making mistakes and the shame of stumbling. True success is not a straight line of victories, but a winding journey, full of obstacles that challenge us to overcome ourselves. It's not easy to go down this path. There are moments of doubt, of wanting to give up in the face of difficulties and frustrations. However, it is on this journey that the flames of passion burn most intensely, where our resilience is forged and where genuine transformation happens. As Epictetus rightly observed, it is not the easy victories that shape us, but rather the arduous battles we fight along the way. So ask yourself, are you willing to fail miserably and be seen as a fool, only to emerge stronger, wiser, and more authentic? True excellence is found in the beautiful and challenging process of becoming who we are meant to be. Rule 5. Keep it easy. Adopting simplicity does not mean giving up wealth. It means putting first what really matters in your life. Imagine yourself surrounded by all the wealth in the world, able to get everything you want. However, even in the face of all this abundance, one question remains. Does this wealth really contribute to your happiness, or does it consume all your attention and energy all the time? Epictetus was insightful in observing that true wealth does not lie in having many things, but rather in cultivating a detached state of mind. Choosing simplicity does not mean giving up comfort or convenience, but rather freeing yourself from the burden of rampant consumerism. By embracing simplicity, you free yourself from the endless cycle of bills, loans, and credit card payments. This freedom is not just about money, it is also a profound emotional and mental release. It's about finding joy in the little things in life, valuing meaningful experiences, genuine connections, and self-knowledge. As we delve deeper into the Stoic wisdom of Epictetus, always remember, accumulating wealth can be an achievement, but its true value lies not in what it can buy, but rather in the peace and simplicity it can bring to your life. Sixth principle, be humble in all your actions. Epictetus, a wise thinker, deeply understood the transformative power of humility. Imagine yourself on a journey, not just an ordinary journey, but one that takes you away from the pedestal of pride and arrogance that surrounds you. Along this path, you will realize that you know very little compared to the vast knowledge that the world offers. And surprisingly, this revelation does not bring a sense of loss, but rather a sense of freedom. With the curious, innocent eyes of a child, you will begin to see the world in a new way. Every leaf, every raindrop, every insignificant detail becomes a portal to deeper understanding. Epictetus invites us to embrace this journey of learning, reminding us that the true essence of knowledge lies in the humility to recognize that we will never know everything. It is in this space of ignorance that emotions flow freely. We may experience waves of fear, the pain of vulnerability, and even a sense of genuine joy. When we free ourselves from the bonds of pride, that's when we truly begin to learn and grow. It is during this intense storm of self-discovery that we find calm and clarity. Seventh principle. This is the warning about the dangers of good luck. To understand how risky wealth can be, we need to go deep into the human mind, where the attraction to money often hides invisible dangers. Rich people, like a two-sided coin, not only attract fake friendships, but also have the power to change us. This can be worrying, as it takes us away from who we really are and what we believe. When we get money, we may come across a side of ourselves that we didn't know about, or that we don't like. It is at this critical moment that the seeds of bad morality can be sown, gradually weakening our character. The wise Epictetus, a master of Stoicism, warned us about these risks. He taught us that true wealth is not in the amount of money we possess, but in the richness of our character. As we navigate life's challenges, we must ask ourselves, will we let luck shape our values, or will we remain true to the principles that define us? The answer is within us, ready to be discovered. Eighth principle. Here is the teaching of not putting all your hopes in just one dream. The philosopher Epictetus, a sage of ancient times, deeply understood the unpredictable nature of life. He reminds us that existence is a complex tapestry of dreams and aspirations, not just a single goal. Why limit our hopes to just one possibility? Recognizing the uncertainty that permeates the fabric of the future, he encouraged us to cultivate a variety of goals and aspirations. Having multiple dreams is not a sign of confusion, but rather a testament to our resilience and adaptability. Imagine this: when one dream seems to fade, another may emerge, revealing new paths to success. This approach doesn't make us fear failure. On the contrary, it enables us to realize our multifaceted potential. By learning from each experience, we transform our weaknesses into strengths that drive our progress. Principle 9. Always keep in mind that you are going to die. At the end of life, death remains a constant warning that time is short. Epictetus, a true master of Stoic wisdom, deeply understood this aspect of existence. He taught us to face death without fear, but with serenity and acceptance. We often forget the finiteness of our own lives as we struggle in the tumultuous waters of everyday problems, preoccupied with small, ephemeral things. Imagine our life as an intricate fabric in which each decision, each action, forms a thread that intertwines until the last moment, which is death. Faced with this inescapable reality, why waste our precious time on worries that will not take us beyond this life? The true essence of existence lies in the depth of love we share, the wisdom we accumulate, and the strength we develop by facing our weaknesses. These are the treasures that should occupy the center of our attention and direct our actions, as they are the ones that truly endure beyond the borders of earthly life. 10th principle. Being happy is true wealth. Have you ever felt the weight of wanting something you don't have, while the blessings you already have are pushed aside, forgotten in a corner of your mind? The Stoic philosopher Epictetus invites us to reorganize this perspective. He whispers an eternal truth. True wealth lies not in the quantity of possessions, but in the fullness of the heart. Stop for a moment and reflect. How many times have you really celebrated the small and large achievements you have already achieved, instead of giving in to the constant temptation of wanting more? What if, instead, you took a moment to appreciate how blessed your life is? Mastering Stoicism is not just about hiding our weaknesses, it's also about turning them into unshakable fortresses that propel us forward. Recognizing that happiness is not at the end of an incessant search for more, but rather in the present, in enjoying and valuing what we already have, is the heart of this journey. Happiness is not far away. It is here and now, waiting to be discovered and appreciated in every moment of our lives. 11th principle. Feeling guilty is a mistake. When this feeling invades us, it can be like a heavy cloud hanging over us all the time. We often get lost in this maze, blaming others or ourselves. However, in doing so, we lose sight of the true goal, taking responsibility, without letting ourselves wallow in guilt. Admit it, it's a difficult path, and it's tempting to blame others. But what if we decide to face our mistakes, accept them, and learn from them? Instead of being consumed by guilt, we can refuse to let shame define us. Following the wisdom of Epictetus, the goal is not to find failures, but solutions and opportunities for growth. As we explore our journey of self-discovery, every misstep can be a chance to improve and grow. Instead of holding on to mistakes, we can see them as a stepping stone towards maturity and personal evolution. Principle 12. Make friends with successful people. Have you ever been in a room with someone who looks like a black cloud, sucking in all the energy around them? They have the power to turn a happy day into a bad day. But there are those rare treasures, people who just by being close to them bring light to the environment. Even in difficult times, they can bring joy. They are like a calm amidst the chaos of life. Don't choose your friendships just for entertainment. Also think about whether they cheer you up or pull you down. So why hang out with people who drain your energy when you can be shining? Remember that it is you who chooses your path and your companions. Watch how your life transforms when you have friends who help you turn your weaknesses into strengths. Principle 13. The way you respond affects what happens next. That's life. We face surprises that arise along the way. Epictetus understood this well. He didn't just tell us to choose how to respond, he did it himself. Think, do you break down or pick yourself up when things get difficult? It's easy to feel sad about yourself when you lose your job, when a relationship ends badly, or when something suddenly goes wrong. But here's the blunt truth. These moments aren't just problems. They are opportunities. Opportunities to learn, grow, and change what we believe. They are like the furnace where our character is molded and tested. When these things happen, we can turn our weaknesses into strengths, our weaknesses into defenses. When life hits you, ask yourself, will this knock you down, or will it fuel your success? Remember, the story of your life is not about what happens to you, but about how you shape it with each problem you face. Principle 14. Do what needs to be done. Doing your job isn't just about following a to-do list or fulfilling a plan someone else wrote. It means facing your weaknesses head-on and turning your weaknesses into strengths. How often do we avoid tackling tasks, not because they are impossible, but because they make us feel bad about ourselves? When you do your work, you need to weather the storm, not with illusions, but with a determination based on reality. There are times when it is difficult to move on, but it is also important to love deeply and fight for what is right. On this difficult journey, you will feel the pain of loss and the joy of victory, but most of all you will discover how strong you are in spirit. Principle 15. Don't pay attention to people who don't like you. It's difficult not to be shaken by the hatred of others without letting it enter your own heart. Why let someone's anger affect you negatively? Think about it. When someone hates you, isn't it usually a reflection of their own internal problems? Respect their struggle, but don't take it inside yourself. By learning about Stoic teachings, we not only learn to push away what is bad, but also to transform it. It's not about denying the truth or ignoring the pain caused by evil. It's about recognizing that every aspect, good or bad, has its place in the big picture of life. You have the power to decide how these aspects will be used in your own story. Rule 16. Friendship is more valuable than money. When things get really hard, when you feel like you're collapsing under the weight of the world, have you ever experienced the support of a true friend? Friendship is worth more than gold because it offers a safe haven where weaknesses are seen as part of the common human experience, not as signs of weakness. In these moments, we truly realize the value of a friend, not as a shield to hide our weaknesses, but as a mirror that shows us who we really are, with all our flaws. This bond, deeper than the ocean, teaches us that true wealth is not in material possessions, but in the minds that inspire us and the hearts that support us in return. Rule 17. Always try to find the positive side of things. Sometimes life can feel like a constant storm. Have you ever had moments when everything seems to be falling apart around you? Imagine the impact of losing a job. It can feel like a devastating blow. It's easy to get lost in the darkness and lose hope. But what if this difficult time is actually a sign to pursue that dream you put aside? Stoicism does not teach you to ignore pain. It teaches you to become stronger when things go wrong. It means understanding that every failure is an opportunity to do things right. What weakens you can be turned to your advantage, so why not use problems as stepping stones to something better? Seeing the light at the end of the tunnel can give us the strength we need to move forward and achieve our goals, no matter how challenging they may seem. Rule 18. Let go of what is not in your control. What is? Have you ever found yourself in situations where you invested deeply in something or someone, only to discover that you couldn't control the outcome? Perhaps you tried your best to achieve your goals, but encountered insurmountable obstacles along the way. Or perhaps you cared deeply about global problems, but felt powerless to solve them. So why feel frustrated, disappointed, and angry all the time? Focus on what you can control and accept what is beyond your control. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, taught us this valuable lesson. It's the key to not only overcoming your weaknesses, but also turning them into strengths that don't crack under pressure. Recognizing and accepting the limits of what we can control frees us from the weight of unrealistic expectations and allows us to direct our energy toward where we can make a real difference. Thus, we can find a sense of peace and satisfaction, even in the face of life's uncertainties. Self-knowledge is a barrier. Make self-introspection a deep practice, delving into the depths of your mind to uncover all the complex parts of who you are. Imagine yourself as an architect, building an inner wall, an insurmountable barrier that no one else can cross. To reach this level of self-awareness, you need to peel back the layers of your ideas, feelings, and events to get a complete picture of the complex fabric that makes up your being. Accept the idea that knowing yourself is not an isolated event. It is an ongoing process of growth and self-reflection. Each layer removed reveals a new understanding of yourself, revealing hidden abilities, identifying flaws that need correcting, and strengthening your personal values and goals. This practice not only makes you more aware of your own tendencies and behaviors, but it also empowers you to make decisions that are more in line with who you truly are. Having self-knowledge is not just an internal journey. It is the building of an emotional fortress that protects you from external influences and manipulations in the world around you. Imagine yourself as a fearless archaeologist, exploring the deepest recesses of your mind to unearth not only the hidden treasures of your personality, but also the obstacles that keep you away from your true essence. By diving into this journey of self-exploration, you gain crystal clarity about your boundaries, those points of demarcation that separate what is acceptable from what is harmful to your emotional and moral well-being. Self-reflection is not just an intellectual exercise, it is an act of empowerment that empowers you to navigate life with confidence and determination. As you delve deeper into your mind, you discover not only the visible parts of your personality, but also the hidden fears, latent hopes, and underlying motives that drive your actions and decisions. By fully understanding these aspects of yourself, you become able to establish firm, defined boundaries, clearly distinguishing between what is aligned with your true essence and what threatens to corrupt your character. These limits are like the walls of a fortress, protecting you from the onslaught of external influences that try to undermine your integrity and divert your trajectory. They not only defend you against external pressure and manipulation, but they also empower you to live a more authentic and meaningful life, guided by your deepest values and principles. In a world where we are so often asked to give in to the expectations and demands of others, self-knowledge is the anchor that keeps us firm in our own foundations, allowing us to walk confidently towards our true purpose in life. Detach yourself from other people's opinions. Learn to be emotionally independent, disconnecting yourself from other people's opinions. Know that your value does not come from outside, but from within you, and should not depend on what others think or say about you. Achieving this independence means separating who you are from what others think of you, knowing that these opinions can change and are influenced by many factors, such as personal biases and social norms. Understand that depending on external support to feel good about yourself leaves room for external influences, such as constantly changing opinions. See your self-esteem as something internal, guided by your own convictions, values, and your true essence. This doesn't mean you shouldn't value constructive feedback or important insights. It means that you evaluate what others say based on your own awareness and discernment, thus strengthening your self-confidence. Explore your own reflection. Discover what is essential to you, the beliefs that shape who you are and the principles that guide your life. When you build your self-esteem internally, you are creating a solid foundation that can withstand the harshness of the world around you. Think of it as building a house on firm rock rather than quicksand. Practicing mindfulness and self-acceptance is how to strengthen this foundation, cultivating an internal dialogue that reinforces your value regardless of the opinions of others. This means recognizing and valuing your own achievements, honoring the merit of your efforts and building a positive image of yourself that originates from within. It's like watering a plant with love and care, allowing it to blossom with confidence and genuine self-esteem. The emotional freedom you gain from this process is like spreading your wings and flying away from the constraints of the need for external approval. Separating yourself from the opinions of others is like releasing the balloons of judgment that have kept you trapped, allowing you to float freely through the vast sky of your own validation. This is not only good for your mental health, but it also gives you the courage you need to face life's challenges with confidence and authenticity. Ultimately, developing emotional independence is like building a shield around yourself, protecting you from the impacts of others' fickle opinions. This creates a solid, resilient inner core that remains unshakable even in the face of changing tides of external opinion. It's like having an inner lighthouse, guiding you safely through the turbulent waters of life. When you build your self-esteem based on these things that come from within you, you are creating a firm foundation that can withstand changes in the world around you. Practicing mindfulness and self-acceptance can help you achieve mental independence by cultivating self-talk that reinforces your worth regardless of what others think. This involves recognizing and valuing your achievements, recognizing the merit of your effort, and building a positive self-image that originates from within. Think of emotional freedom as a journey of personal liberation that frees you from the constant need for external approval. Learning to separate yourself from other people's opinions is beneficial to your mental health and gives you the strength you need to face life with confidence based on your own validation. Finally, developing emotional independence protects us from the impacts of other people's opinions, creating a solid and resilient inner core that remains intact even in the face of external changes in opinion. Remember that controlling your emotions is something that can be learned over time and requires constant practice to improve. Expose yourself to situations that may make you sensitive, but be aware of how to regulate your own emotions. This proactive method will not only strengthen your ability to deal with challenges, but it will also help you protect yourself against external influences. Use the power of pause to give yourself a moment to think before acting impulsively. Giving yourself a brief moment of respite is like opening a window to the cool breeze on a hot day. It's invigorating and enlightening. This short break gives you the time you need to take a deep breath, to connect with yourself and to ponder the situation in front of you. It's like a pause in the middle of a hectic play, allowing you to calmly assess the plot and decide your next step with clarity. Instead of reacting impulsively, this pause acts as armor against manipulation, providing you with a layer of emotional protection. Imagine holding a sturdy shield, capable of deflecting the emotional blows that could knock you down. This shield is your ability to control your own emotions, even in the midst of external chaos. Additionally, this strategic pause empowers you to make wiser decisions and communicate more effectively with others. It's like having a map on hand when you're lost. It gives you guidance and clarity to move forward with confidence. By mastering your emotional reactions, you become the captain of your own ship, sailing steadily toward your desired destination. This practice not only strengthens your sense of internal control, but also creates a robust defense against external attempts to manipulate or abuse your emotions. It's like building an impenetrable fortress around your mind and heart, protecting them from external attacks. In doing so, you become the guardian of your own emotional well-being, ready to face any challenge life may throw at you. The Stoicism of empathy is like a bridge that connects hearts and minds, allowing you to navigate the tumultuous waters of human emotions with grace and understanding. Imagine yourself as a skilled navigator, ready to explore the seas of empathy with courage and wisdom. To begin this journey, it is crucial to recognize the transformative power of empathy. By opening your heart to understand the experiences of others, you build genuine, meaningful bonds that transcend communication barriers. It's like opening a window into another person's inner world, allowing you to walk alongside them in their moments of joy and pain. However, just as an experienced captain knows when to retreat in the face of an impending storm, it is essential to practice emotional resilience. This means setting healthy boundaries to protect your own inner peace, while still offering genuine support to others. It's like balancing yourself skillfully on a tightrope, standing firm in your own emotional stability while reaching out to help those in need. In moments of sensitivity, it is essential to distinguish your own feelings from those of others. Imagine yourself as a shining beacon amidst the darkness, radiating clarity and calm to illuminate the path ahead. By maintaining this clarity and control over your own emotional reactions, you become a secure anchor point for those navigating the turbulent waters of life. So embrace the stoicism of empathy as a reliable compass on your emotional journey. By cultivating the courage to truly connect with others and the wisdom to maintain your own boundaries, you will build deep, meaningful relationships that enrich your life and those around you. Practicing mindfulness can help you stay present during moments of empathy, allowing you to fully feel other people's emotions while remaining aware of your own. This will facilitate a deeper connection with them without compromising your own mental health. It is important to understand that being empathetic in the Stoic style does not mean repressing your emotions, but rather using them in a healthy way. By allowing yourself to feel and understand other people's feelings, you can strengthen your relationships and keep your mental health intact. Developing empathy and emotional intelligence requires the ability to deal with your own feelings with resilience and discernment, which contributes to your personal growth. Truth is like a shining beacon amidst the darkness, guiding you safely through the turbulent waters of life. Imagine yourself as a skilled navigator, trusting the compass of veracity to guide your choices and interactions. By valuing the truth, you not only cultivate authenticity, but you also build an inner fortress that protects you from external storms. Adopting sincerity as a guiding principle is like planting deep roots on firm ground. It's a promise you make to yourself to always stay true to your inner truth, even when faced with external challenges. The truth not only strengthens your integrity, but also empowers you to navigate the choppy waters of life with confidence and determination. In the partnership arena, transparency and honest dialogue are the anchors that maintain solid relationships anchored in mutual trust. Imagine yourself as a skilled builder, building bridges of transparent communication that connect hearts and minds. These heartfelt connections are the foundations upon which trust and empathy are built, nurturing genuine relationships that stand the test of time. Therefore, embrace truthfulness as a constant companion on your journey through life. By honoring truth in all your actions and interactions, you not only strengthen your own resilience, but you also build bonds of trust and respect that light the path to a more authentic and meaningful future. This firmness in being truthful guards us against external influences that may try to deceive us or take advantage of us using lies. Recognize that being honest is not just the right thing to do. It's also a smart strategy that builds resilience in a world where outside influences can pressure you to give in. Your unwavering commitment to the truth gives you courage and helps you face challenges with integrity. Embrace the principle of honesty as an internal guide that shapes your actions and relationships in a genuine way. In doing so, in addition to fostering true relationships, adopt a mindset that sees difficulties not as obstacles, but as important opportunities to grow as a person. When you face them, adversity can be transformed into a source of strength and maturity. When adopting this perspective, which is an effective approach to developing resistance against mental manipulation, consider each challenge as an opportunity to evolve and learn. Instead of seeing problems as barriers, see them as stepping stones. You can learn more about your own emotional resilience and areas for improvement by shifting your focus from possible negative impacts to the good chances for self-development hidden in each difficulty. Accept the idea that although problems test your inner strength, they also offer chances to acquire new knowledge and grow as an individual. By taking this proactive approach, you can face emotional manipulation with a more robust mindset, based on the belief that every challenge can strengthen you emotionally and mentally. Cultivate a growth-oriented mindset that values adversity, demonstrates curiosity about how you deal with problems, learn from them, and adjust your approaches for the next time they arise. A mindset like this protects you against emotional manipulation, as it encourages you to continue evolving as an individual. Promote the use of thoughtful assessment, a method that involves impartially analyzing situations and using logical thinking to build a solid defense against deceptive strategies. When you embrace this approach, you are armed with an inner compass that guides you through life's crossroads with clarity and insight. Imagine yourself as a skilled navigator, remaining calm even in the face of emotional storms, allowing yourself to analyze events objectively. To achieve this unbiased perspective, it's crucial to separate your emotions from the scenario. Take a step back as a thoughtful observer and examine the facts and intentions behind people's actions. This emotional detachment not only gives you a clearer view of the situation, but also protects you against attempts at manipulation. By adopting this balanced approach, you become immune to the manipulator's wiles, denying them the emotional advantage they seek. Instead of allowing emotions to dominate your decisions, you prioritize logical reasoning, carefully evaluating available information in light of your own values and goals. Imagine yourself as an architect of your own mindset, building a castle of solid, grounded thoughts. In doing so, you become a master of your own narrative, weathering the emotional tides and confidently sailing toward a destination of your own choosing. By cultivating this logical mindset, you build an impenetrable mental fortress capable of repelling the sneak attacks of manipulation. Like a sharp detective, develop the habit of questioning everything, from assumptions to goals. Test your own convictions and thoroughly examine the available information, separating the facts from the trickery. This mental vigilance not only increases your immunity to manipulation, but also promotes a careful approach towards events and people around you. Remember that a skeptical mind is not a distrustful mind, but rather a mind committed to thorough investigation. Cultivate a mindset that values logic, reason, and critical thinking as your most valuable tools. By taking this proactive approach, you not only make more informed decisions, but you also build a solid wall against those who try to exploit your mental weaknesses. Imagine yourself as a shield against the mind games of others, able to discern between truth and illusion, protecting your own interests and ensuring that your decisions are based on a solid understanding of the facts. This defensive mindset is not only a safeguard against manipulation, but also a guarantee of autonomy and self-confidence in a world full of attempts at external influence. Understanding communication without words, discover how to interpret body signals, facial expressions, and variations in voice to better understand communication without using words. Paying more attention to nonverbal cues can help you talk more clearly and completely, sharing important information. Understand how facial expressions can powerfully show your feelings. By observing small changes in someone's face, you can tell a lot about what they are thinking or feeling. This not only helps you understand others, but also creates stronger bonds by talking sensitively. Observe your own body language, as it often conveys more than your words. Notice how gestures, posture, and movements can convey meanings. By understanding these nonverbal cues, you'll have a clearer picture of what someone is trying to express, which can help you be more thoughtful in your relationships. Pay attention to the different ways of speaking. The tone, speed, and way of saying words add more meaning to the spoken message. Observing these rhythmic elements carefully during a conversation is like deciphering a secret code of emotions. It's as if you can read between the lines, picking up not just the words spoken, but also the underlying feelings. Imagine yourself as a detective, but instead of following physical clues, you are attuned to the rhythms and nuances of human communication. This not only simplifies the conversation, but makes it more effective, allowing for a deeper connection between people. Being a participatory listener is like being an attentive observer of a dance, where each movement tells a story. Use not only your ears, but also your eyes to fully absorb these subtleties. Words may say one thing, but body language often tells a different story. It's as if we are reading a book where the words are only half the story, and the facial expressions and gestures are the other half. Aligning your words with your body language is like harmonizing a song. This not only helps you better understand what is being communicated, but also demonstrates genuine interest and commitment to the interaction. When your words and gestures are in sync, you convey a clearer and more authentic message, strengthening the connection with whoever you are talking to. Remember that communication goes beyond words. Our emotions are expressed not only through what we say, but also through our facial expressions and body posture. It's as if we are constantly transmitting invisible radio signals to the world around us. By being more aware of these non-verbal cues in yourself, you become more able to communicate your own emotions honestly and transparently. By becoming more self-aware, you open the doors to more genuine and meaningful communication. This creates a trusting environment where people feel more comfortable sharing their thoughts and feelings. This way, you not only build stronger relationships, but you also become a more effective and empathetic communicator. Active listening is like a magical skill that allows us to delve into other people's emotions and thoughts, creating bonds that go beyond words. Imagine yourself as an explorer of the depths of the human heart, navigating the turbulent waters of emotions. By practicing active listening, you become a true detective between the lines, capturing not only what is said, but also what is not. Carefully observing body signals, facial expressions, and nuances in tone of voice is like deciphering a secret code, revealing the other person's most intimate feelings. It's as if we were reading a book where the words are only half the story, and the gestures and expressions are the other half, the one that gives color and life to the plot. Showing genuine interest during a conversation is like growing a garden where the seeds of trust and connection can flourish. Maintaining eye contact and nodding your head are simple but powerful gestures that show the other person that you are completely present and engaged in the interaction. It's as if you're saying, "I'm here for you. Your story matters to me." These small actions not only encourage each other to open up, but they also strengthen the emotional bonds between you, creating an atmosphere of trust and mutual understanding. Improving your communication skills is like sculpting a masterpiece where each interaction is a brushstroke that contributes to the overall picture of meaningful relationships. Asking for feedback and reflecting on your interactions is like sharpening your tools, ensuring you're constantly refining your art of connecting with others. It's as if you were adjusting the focus of a camera, always seeking clarity and sharpness in communication. By constantly seeking to improve, you build deeper, more genuine relationships where mutual understanding and empathy bloom like flowers in a well-tended garden. Brain chemicals related to happiness and reward are released when you use positive words. This creates a good cycle that strengthens the feeling of connection. To create a sense of unity, use words that include everyone. Using words like we and us when talking to people or groups makes everyone feel like they're part of the same team and motivates them to work together. These words activate parts of the brain related to social relationships, making the conversation more positive and united. Add laughter and fun to your conversations. When used with the right timing and in a funny way, jokes activate the brain's reward system, making conversation more enjoyable for everyone. Humor is a great way to bring people together and have fun together. Also observe body language during conversations. Match your positive words with gestures, tone of voice, and facial expressions. This makes your conversation feel more authentic and reinforces the positive effect on your brain. Remember that a good conversation involves both sides. Positive feedback loops are created when people are encouraged and appreciated for their efforts. This strengthens each other, creating a happier, more cooperative conversational environment with optimistic minds. Practicing the art of attentive listening is like opening a door to a world of deep, meaningful connections. Imagine yourself as a curious explorer, eager to discover the secrets and nuances behind someone else's words. Be truly present, with an open mind and a receptive heart, as you engage in conversation. When you show a genuine interest in understanding others, you transform simple exchanges of words into moments of true human connection. The key to effective listening is a positive attitude. By adopting an optimistic stance, you not only capture the details of the conversation, but you also cultivate an environment conducive to healthy, understanding relationships. Imagine yourself as a sun, radiating warmth and light to illuminate the hearts of those you interact with. The more you emit positivity, the more human warmth you receive in return, fueling the virtuous cycle of mutual understanding. Truly understanding someone goes beyond simply listening to their words. It is a journey of deep empathy. Imagine yourself as an emotional alchemist, skillfully blending your own experiences and feelings with those of the other person to create a genuine connection. Empathy is not just understanding intellectually, it is diving into the depths of another's heart, sharing their joys, sadness, and everything else that makes up their human experience. So the next time you find yourself in a conversation, allow yourself to be not just a listener, but a true companion on the journey. Be present, be positive, and dive into the waters of empathy. Because it is in these moments of true connection that the deepest and most lasting bonds are forged. Know that empathy is a constantly evolving process. Instead of just acknowledging someone else's feelings, try to understand their emotions, experiences, and perspectives in a deeper and more meaningful way. For empathy to be genuine, it is necessary to become emotionally involved beyond the surface. This makes the connection more authentic. Active, attentive listening will help you truly understand other people's feelings. Allow yourself to be fully present and absorb not just the words, but also the feelings and non-verbal cues. This method strengthens the relationship, making it more real and affectionate. Train yourself to be interested in the feelings of others. Ask open-ended questions that encourage people to share more about their feelings and thoughts. This builds a stronger bond, showing that you genuinely want to understand the complexity of their feelings and is an essential part of true empathy. Practice accepting others' points of view. Try to see things from their point of view and acknowledge the reality of their feelings and experiences. By putting yourself in their shoes, you can make a deeper, more meaningful emotional connection. When seeking sensitivity, avoid judging or making assumptions. Adopt an accepting attitude that allows people to express their thoughts without fear of being judged. This acceptance creates a safe environment for authentic emotional relationships to grow. Showing genuine understanding and support during a conversation is like building a solid bridge between two people. Imagine yourself as a skilled architect, working meticulously to ensure that each brick is placed precisely, thereby strengthening the fabric of the relationship. When communicating with others, whether through words or actions, make it clear that you not only listen but understand and value what they are saying. It's as if you extended a helping hand, ready to offer support whenever necessary, creating an environment of trust and reciprocity. In this communication process, it is essential to tune in to the subtle details that escape words. Imagine yourself as a discerning detective, closely observing every gesture, every facial expression for clues about the other person's true feelings. Often, it's these little unspoken signs that reveal more than the words themselves. By paying attention to these details, you enhance your ability to connect emotionally, diving deeper into the waters of mutual understanding. Remember that care is in the details. It's as if you're reading a book, not just the printed words, but also the white spaces between them. Likewise, when interacting with others, it is important to not only listen to what is said, but also read the non-verbal cues that complement those words. By doing this, you not only strengthen your ability to connect emotionally, but you also nurture a relationship based on mutual understanding and genuine support. True empathy is like sharing an emotional roller coaster ride with a loved one. It's feeling the curves of happiness when they reach the top and the crash of falls when life challenges them. Imagine yourself as a fellow traveler, holding each other's hand through the ups and downs of the journey. By genuinely celebrating your victories and sharing your sorrows, you not only strengthen emotional bonds, but you also build a solid foundation for relationships that stand the test of time. Trust is like a castle built on solid rocks of consistency and reliability. Imagine yourself as a meticulous builder, dedicated to lifting each stone with precision and care. By being a constant, trusted presence in the lives of those around you, you not only build a reputation for integrity, but you also lay the foundation for strong, lasting relationships. Like a castle that resists raging winds, the confidence you inspire becomes a fortress that protects and nurtures the bonds you share with others. Demonstrating consistency in your words and actions is like building a solid bridge between yourself and others. Imagine yourself as a skilled builder, lifting each brick with care and precision to ensure the structure remains firm no matter how strong winds blow. Being trustworthy means more than just saying the right words. It's about acting on them. By aligning your actions with your words, you create an environment of trust where others can count on you as a secure anchor in their lives. Maintaining trust is like watering a precious plant. It requires care, attention, and commitment. Imagine yourself as a dedicated gardener, ensuring that your trust relationship flourishes and grows strong over time. Meeting deadlines, achieving goals, and honoring your promises are vital nutrients that fuel this relationship. By being punctual, reliable, and committed, you demonstrate that you are someone who can be trusted, not only in words, but also in actions. Being transparent in your communication is like opening the curtains to let the sunlight in. Imagine yourself as a beacon of honesty, lighting the way to authentic, meaningful relationships. Be clear about your capabilities and limitations, clearly communicating what others can expect from you. By setting realistic expectations and doing your best to meet them, you build a reputation for reliability and integrity, cultivating relationships based on mutual trust and respect. So the next time you find yourself in an interaction, remember the importance of maintaining consistency, reliability, and transparency, because it is these qualities that form the solid foundations of lasting and meaningful relationships. Being honest builds trust because people know you always tell the truth in every situation. Recognize and correct errors immediately. If something happens unexpectedly that could harm your reliability, be honest and resolve the issue immediately. Taking responsibility for any deviation shows that you are committed to maintaining people's trust, even when things get difficult. Develop a solid and consistent personality in your interactions. Acting consistently makes you appear confident and trustworthy. When people can predict your actions and words, it creates a safe and trusting environment, strengthening the bonds between you. Prioritize open conversations to ensure everyone knows what is expected of them. Talk regularly to check that needs and expectations are being met and to communicate any changes to your own goals. This constant communication clears things up and keeps interactions regular and trustworthy. Remember, building trust by being consistent and reliable takes time. Recognize positive behavior always, and if something goes wrong, adjust as necessary. Your relationships benefit in the long run from your commitment to maintaining a foundation of trust. Consider how your trustworthiness affects others. Know that being trustworthy not only builds trust but also sets a good example for those around you, whether in your personal or professional life. This positive effect makes people more likely to trust each other. Showing gratitude is very important. Expressing gratitude can make things better. It is one of the best ways to build and strengthen emotional bonds, as well as promoting mutual respect in relationships. Make a conscious effort to show genuine appreciation for other people's specific efforts, ensuring that your thanks are more than just generic acknowledgements. Cultivate the habit of being positive when expressing gratitude, taking every opportunity to acknowledge and thank those around you. By giving thanks regularly, you create an atmosphere of joy and shared value, strengthening the emotional bonds between people in your personal and professional lives. Be careful and specific when showing your gratitude, mentioning specific actions or traits that really touch you. This type of thank you not only shows that you are paying attention, but it also helps you understand and connect more deeply with the person you are thanking. Show your appreciation not only for individual achievements, but also for teamwork. Recognize and value how success is achieved through collaboration, highlighting the importance of shared victories. This collective recognition strengthens the sense of togetherness and promotes mutual respect in groups or teams. When the storms of life blow, gratitude proves to be a powerful anchor that holds us steady. Imagine yourself as a skilled sailor, dropping anchors of gratitude to anchor yourself in difficult times. Thanking those who support us during adversity not only recognizes their kindness, but also strengthens the bonds that bind us together. It's as if each thank you is a firm knot, weaving a web of support and encouragement around us. Understand that gratitude is a two-way street, flowing both inward and outward. By opening your heart to receive the gratitude of others, you not only nurture their self-esteem, but you also cultivate an environment where respect and mutual appreciation naturally flourish. It's as if we are watering a garden of relationships, where each expression of gratitude is like a raindrop that feeds the beauty and vitality of human connections. Expressing gratitude should be a constant, deliberate practice, like watering a plant every day so it blooms. Whether through sincere words, kind gestures, or small acts of kindness, showing appreciation should be an intrinsic part of all of our interactions. By doing this, you create a positive emotional environment where mutual recognition becomes an essential part of the fabric of relationships. Additionally, it's worth reflecting on the impact of gratitude on our own mental health. Just like the sun that warms the earth, gratitude warms our heart and mind, triggering positive reactions in our brain. Understanding how gratitude strengthens our mental resilience and contributes to our overall well-being reminds us of its vital importance in building meaningful and enriching relationships. The secret is in the ability to adapt. Show flexibility to demonstrate that you are trustworthy and capable of handling challenges, which will result in positive opinions of you. By demonstrating the ability to deal with new situations, you not only improve your personal and professional reputation, but also contribute to a more pleasant work environment. Examples of times when you handled change and uncertainty well, such as dealing with sudden problems or ever-changing situations, highlight your ability to adapt and thrive. By taking the initiative, you show others that you are not only resilient, but also flexible enough to deal with a variety of circumstances. Be honest about your willingness to adapt and change. Show that you understand this well. This approach encourages collaboration and stimulates new ideas, which helps people feel positive about their abilities. Pay attention to feedback and changing needs. Being adaptable means constantly listening to what others have to say, recognizing where you can improve, and adjusting the way you do things as needed. Being receptive to new ideas not only shows that you are willing to grow, but it also conveys confidence, showing that you are capable of facing challenges with an open mind. Share success stories that illustrate your flexibility. Recount times when your ability to deal with uncertainty resulted in positive results. By sharing these stories, you not only demonstrate your adaptability, but also provide real-world examples of how you can solve problems effectively. Consider how change affects the health of a company in a broader context. Recognize that being able to adapt is a valuable skill not only for yourself, but also for the success and resilience of a team or organization as a whole. This demonstrates that you understand what adaptation means in a broader context. Expressing gratitude is very important. Practicing the habit of thanking each other can help build a positive cycle of exchanges, promoting respect and strengthening genuine relationships. By actively participating in the art of giving and receiving thanks, you create a supportive environment that strengthens bonds between people. Give thanks regularly and from the heart. Acknowledge what others have done for you by being specific and genuine. Expressing gratitude deliberately makes others feel valued and establishes a basis for an exchange of mutual recognition that promotes respect among all. Be open to receiving thanks with gratitude. Recognize people's kindnesses and show that you appreciate them. This creates a cycle of gratitude that feeds off each other. Encourage those around you, both in your personal and professional lives, to recognize each other. Encourage open and regular expression of gratitude. By promoting an environment where everyone recognizes and values each other, you contribute to the formation of a united and supportive group. Imagine a rescue team on a deep-sea rescue mission. Each member plays a crucial role in ensuring the success of the operation. After the successful mission, the captain gathers the crew and, in a simple gesture, expresses his sincere gratitude for their efforts. He highlights how the dedication of everyone, from the helicopter pilot to the onboard doctor, was fundamental in saving lives. This moment of recognition not only strengthened the bonds between team members, but also reinforced their determination in future missions, creating a collaborative and positive work environment. In a corporate environment, a project team faces a complex challenge and tight deadline. Despite the obstacles, they managed to deliver the project successfully. During the closing meeting, each team member expresses their gratitude for each other's efforts. The project manager highlights how teamwork and mutual support were essential to overcome difficulties. This exchange of thanks not only strengthens relationships within the team, but also inspires a renewed sense of camaraderie and collaboration. setting the stage for future successes. By sharing these success stories, we highlight the transformative power of gratitude in our personal and professional lives. Encouraging people to openly discuss the importance of expressing gratitude not only promotes a more positive work environment, but also nurtures stronger, more meaningful relationships in all walks of life. After all, it is through mutual appreciation and sincere recognition that we build bonds that stand the test of time. Imagine a team meeting where disagreements arise about the path forward on a project. Instead of allowing disagreements to escalate into conflict, a team member initiates an exchange of gratitude. He expresses his appreciation for the different points of view shared, recognizing how they enriched the discussion and provided an opportunity for constructive conversation. This shift in focus to the positives helps to diffuse tension and find creative solutions to the challenges they face, thus promoting a more harmonious and collaborative work environment. In addition to individually recognizing the contributions of each team member, it is essential to value collective effort. Imagine a sports team celebrating an emotional victory. Instead of highlighting just one player's performance, the team captain expresses his gratitude for everyone's work together. It highlights how each member played a vital role in the achievement, from the players on the field to those supporting behind the scenes. This practice not only strengthens bonds between team members, but also creates a culture of mutual recognition and appreciation, where everyone feels valued and part of something bigger than themselves. Over time, the consistent practice of expressing gratitude transforms relationships in profound and meaningful ways. Imagine a community where people greet each other with words of appreciation and admiration every day. This culture of gratitude not only builds mutual respect, but also lays a solid foundation for authentic, lasting relationships. Each expression of gratitude creates a wave of positive energy that spreads, encouraging more positive interactions and strengthening the bonds that bring people together. By following these tips, you can not only protect yourself from manipulation, but also build important, respectful relationships on your journey. Imagine a life without financial worries. You are working toward financial freedom, happiness, and true joy. Do you think this is just a dream? Know that this dream is achievable. It's time to explore the 8 fundamental principles that will help you escape the cycle of common thoughts. We are not just going to talk about how to get rich, but also how to enrich your soul with happiness and good vibes. These principles are more than just suggestions. They can open the doors to a whole new world. Rule 1. Don't think that having money equals being happy. Imagine a world where material riches are not seen as the only path to happiness. It is not the man who has very little who is poor. It is the man who desires more who is poor, said the famous philosopher Seneca. These words resonate like an echo from ancient times, echoing a timeless truth about the nature of happiness and prosperity. The Stoics, with their ancient wisdom, taught us that true wealth lies in virtue and personal ethics. Imagine yourself sailing the deep waters of Stoic philosophy, where the storms of greed and ambition are calmed by the serenity of inner wisdom. They remind us that the pursuit of happiness should not be confused with the pursuit of material wealth, but rather with the cultivation of character and integrity. This profound view of life invites us to rethink our notions of success and fulfillment. Imagine trading the incessant desire for more for a more meaningful pursuit of moral excellence. True happiness, as the Stoics teach us, is not rooted in having more things, but rather in being more. It is as if we are planting seeds of virtue and reaping the fruits of true inner fulfillment. So the next time we find ourselves tempted to measure our happiness by the size of our wallets, let us remember the wise words of Seneca and the timeless teachings of the Stoics. For it is in the cultivation of virtue and the pursuit of moral excellence that we find true wealth and true contentment. Stoic philosophy invites us to dive into an ocean of reflection on what it really means to be virtuous. Imagine yourself as a fearless explorer, navigating the deep waters of Stoic wisdom. Virtue for the Stoics is more than a simple word. It is a beacon that guides our minds and shapes our way of life. Virtuous people are like masters of themselves, capable of taming their feelings and actions with skill and self-control. They face life's challenges with unwavering courage, judging situations impartially and using reason to guide their decisions. For the Stoics, true wealth does not reside in external material goods, which are volatile and subject to change. Instead, they teach us that virtue, living a life of dignity and purpose, is the true treasure that brings lasting and meaningful happiness. Consider this. We've heard countless stories about rich people living empty, unfulfilling lives, while ordinary people find joy and contentment in their simple lives. Imagine reflecting on these stories, questioning whether the amount of money in our bank accounts really determines our happiness. The truth is that genuine happiness cannot be bought with material wealth. It lies in the depth of our character and the quality of our actions. Having things can bring temporary joy, like the excitement of buying a new cell phone. However, this happiness soon fades as the novelty wears off and the object becomes just another item in the daily routine. Things in life have a way of losing their luster over time, while true happiness, rooted in virtue and purpose, remains constant, weathering the vicissitudes of life. So the next time we find ourselves tempted to measure our happiness by the size of our material possessions, let us remember the lessons of the Stoics, for it is in the pursuit of virtue and the cultivation of a noble character that we find true wealth and true contentment. More than ever, Stoic philosophy shows us that wealth is not what brings us happiness, but rather learning to appreciate what we already have. When we begin to value and enjoy the good things in life, we realize that we have more than we imagined. We must not only appreciate what we have, but also understand its true value. To further enrich our spirit, we can invest in things like knowledge, experiences, and connections. What we learn, what we do, and the love we share are gifts that will last forever and accompany us on our journey through life. All of these things contribute to true richness, a deep sense of well-being, and a feeling that life has meaning. This is the wealth that we must value and seek on our journey. A brief look at Stoic philosophy. It has a unique way of understanding the connection between wealth and happiness. True happiness comes from cultivating virtue and living morally, not from having many material things. Therefore, Stoic thinking is a valuable guide in our search for happiness and meaning in life. Rule 2. Don't hold other people responsible. Imagine yourself on an epic journey to an unknown land, where the second Stoic principle lights your path like a guiding star. People are not disturbed by things, but by the vision they have of them, reminds us Epictetus, one of the great masters of Stoic philosophy. These words resonate as a call to action, a reminder that the power to shape our destiny lies within ourselves. Epictetus's advice echoes like a lion's roar in the jungle of life, challenging us to take control of our own destiny. Imagine yourself as the fearless captain of a ship, sailing through the tumultuous waves of existence. Although we face storms, shipwrecks, and rough seas, the only thing we can truly control is our own response to adversity. Taking on this responsibility reminds us of the importance of taking care of ourselves and being the masters of our own lives. Imagine anchoring your ship on a distant island, where every step forward is a conscious, deliberate choice. Here, we confront problems, find opportunities, and face challenges, but in each moment, we are the architects of our own destiny. Recognizing that true change begins from the inside out, we learn not to blame others for our difficulties, but rather to look within ourselves for solutions. It's as if we are planting seeds of self-determination and reaping the fruits of inner freedom. So the next time we find ourselves tempted to point the finger outward in search of blame, let us remember the wise words of Epictetus and the powerful teachings of Stoic philosophy. For it is in accepting responsibility for our own lives that we find true freedom and true fulfillment. People often remind us that we are the captains of our own lives. But why is this so crucial? Because it is through responsibility that we find true freedom and growth. Imagine yourself on a ship at sea during a storm. The wind howls and the waves churn, but even in the face of this chaos, you are the captain of your destiny. While we cannot control the forces of nature, we can control how we navigate this rough sea. Taking responsibility for our lives is not a burden to bear, but rather an opportunity to shape our own destiny. It's as if we are holding the helm of our life, guiding it with determination in the direction we desire. taking control of our lives allows us to navigate the seas of existence with confidence and purpose. So oftentimes, the common mistake we make is looking for external blame when we face challenges. Stoic thinking warns us against this trap, recognizing it as a sign of weakness and lack of control. Instead of looking for scapegoats, we are encouraged to take responsibility for our actions and seek proactive solutions to the problems we face. Imagine yourself in a sports match where the result is not what you expected. Instead of blaming defeat on bad weather or bad luck, you rise up like a true leader, recognizing areas for improvement and looking for ways to excel. So the next time we find ourselves tempted to blame others or external circumstances for our difficulties, let us remember the importance of taking responsibility for our lives, for it is in accepting this responsibility that we find the power to shape our own destiny and navigate courageously towards our dreams and aspirations. However, Stoic thinking leads you to look at yourself. You can understand that despite the challenges, better planning, more careful training, or improving your skills could have produced better results. Ultimately, this principle is closely related to the Stoic concept of the dichotomy of control, which includes things we can control and things we cannot control. We may not be able to control external factors such as the weather, the behavior of others, or the control of social systems. However, we have the power to control how we react and deal with these factors. Instead of blaming what we cannot control, we should focus on controlling our thoughts, decisions, and actions. This helps us demonstrate self-determination and not be dominated by external factors in our lives. From the perspective of Stoic philosophy, not blaming others is not only a way of demonstrating personal responsibility, but also a way of living a meaningful and free life. By accepting responsibility and control, we become positive creators of our own lives and face every challenge with strength. Principle 3. Stop living to please others. Let's turn to principle number 3 through a famous quote by Marcus Aurelius. It never ceases to amaze me. We all like ourselves more than other people, but we care more about their opinion than our own. This quote emphasizes Marcus Aurelius's vision of focusing on self-awareness and personal virtue, rather than seeking external approval. According to Stoic philosophy, our lives depend on ourselves, and true happiness comes from self-awareness and self-control. We should not live to meet the expectations of others or seek their approval, as this makes us dependent on the opinions and judgments of others, putting us in a constant struggle against all the uncontrollable changes and fluctuations in life. In today's digital world, where social media and cultural standards shape our perceptions and aspirations, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the pressure to conform to society's expectations. This incessant pressure often leads us to abandon our true passions and live a life that doesn't reflect who we really are. Imagine yourself as a leaf adrift in a sea of external influences, being carried by the current of social demands and other people's expectations. This mentality of constantly seeking approval and acceptance from others not only impacts our financial choices, but also leads us to incessant comparison with the lives of others. Imagine a young artist whose heart beats with a passion for writing and the arts. He dreams of creating stories that inspire and transform, but all around him the voices of society and family expectations echo louder. Under this pressure, he abandons his creative dreams and launches into a financial career that brings him no satisfaction. He feels like a caged bird, deprived of the freedom to fly towards his own horizons. This renunciation of one's true self can lead to a feeling of emptiness and disconnection from oneself as one moves further and further away from one's passions and purposes. The frantic search to follow in the footsteps of others often leads us to a cycle of unrestrained consumption and excessive spending. Imagine yourself trapped in a rat race, chasing a standard of living that isn't yours, accumulating debt and living beyond your means. The need to keep up with other people's ostentation can lead us to sacrifice our financial stability and emotional well-being in exchange for an illusion of success and status. So the next time we find ourselves tempted to follow the herd and stray from our true paths, let us remember the importance of honoring our own passions and values, for it is in authenticity and integrity with oneself that we find true fulfillment and happiness. The Stoic principle of independence offers us a beacon of light amid the darkness of external expectations, reminding us of the importance of forging our own path toward financial independence. It's as if we were in front of an arrow, ready to be launched towards the right target, while we focus on our own trajectory. But how can we begin this journey of self-discovery and financial freedom? Firstly, it is crucial to know ourselves deeply. Take precious time to explore your personal values, goals, and dreams. Allow yourself to delve into the depths of your soul and discover what really moves you. You need to identify what truly matters to you and forge a clear vision of the goals you want to achieve in life. Next, it's time to create plans that are rooted in your personal values. Develop financial and life strategies that reflect your deepest values, rather than getting lost in the trap of comparing to others or chasing your expectations. Allow yourself to be the architect of your own life, designing a future that is truly yours. Additionally, cultivate self-management and control. Stoicism encourages us to master our emotions and behaviors while humbly accepting that there are aspects of life that are beyond our control. Focus on what can be changed and learn to calmly accept what cannot. Always remember the importance of patience. Understand that this journey towards financial independence is not a sprint, but rather a marathon that requires time, effort, and dedication. Remain steadfast in your pursuit, even in the face of challenges and setbacks. And as you move forward, remember that your journey is unique and incomparable. You are the protagonist of your own story, and the path to success is shaped by your choices and actions. Applying these principles may not be easy or quick, but the fruits harvested are truly rewarding. By freeing yourself from the shackles of external expectations, you not only gain control of your finances, but also of your life as a whole. Don't allow societal pressure to dictate your financial decisions. Seek financial independence based on your deepest values, with patience, perseverance, and authenticity. Always remember that this journey is yours, and that you are not only a participant, but also the sole architect of your own destiny. When you use these ideas, you begin a new adventure where you will have more freedom with your money and feel great happiness. This means your life can change in very good ways. Fourth principle: don't be afraid to take risks. When we hear the word risk, we often feel nervous and worried. These natural feelings can keep us from achieving our best in life. We often avoid risks and fear challenges, but we need to understand that in order to grow and find inner freedom, Stoic philosophy teaches us to develop patience, bravery, and control over ourselves, especially bravery. This means facing risks with care and determination. If you doubt your own courage, look to the stories of two famous people who inspire anyone who wants to turn their dreams into reality. Mark Zuckerberg, the tech billionaire and creator of Facebook, once said, "In an ever-changing world, the only strategy to guarantee failure is to not take risks." He left college to focus on Facebook, a risky choice that made him one of the world's most successful people in technology. Or Elon Musk, after making millions with PayPal, didn't take the safe route in information technology and instead invested in SpaceX and Tesla. Although both companies faced difficult times, they ended up prospering, showing Musk's boldness. This resulted in a huge success. Think about this for a moment. What sets successful people apart from ordinary people? It is the courage to take risks. They leave their comfort zone, face uncertainty, and embrace challenges with courage. They know that it is through these risks that they grow, learn, and move towards success. Let's bring these paragraphs to life by exploring different aspects of courage and facing risks. So what does this really mean for you? It's about changing your perspective on risk. Courage is not about completely eliminating fear and anxiety. It's about facing challenges with confidence, even when your heart is racing and your mind is full of uncertainty. It's understanding that in life, everything is temporary and we can't always control what happens around us. Avoiding risks only deprives us of the opportunities for personal growth and development that may await us. When we apply this concept to our financial situation, we realize that it is the same idea. By taking risks by investing in new ventures, exploring different career paths, or deciding to save and invest rather than spend on momentary pleasures, we are opening ourselves up to a world of possibilities. And although things don't always go as planned, it's important to remember that sometimes the results far exceed our expectations. Stoic philosophy teaches us that growing and developing involves facing challenges. Every failure is an opportunity to learn and grow, and every challenge is a chance to become more resilient and stronger. Patience and self-control play fundamental roles in this process. It is these qualities that help us overcome difficulties and persevere in the face of adversity. So the next time you are faced with a difficult choice or a challenging situation, remember the importance of facing risks with courage and confidence. Because it is in these moments that we find opportunities for growth and discover our true inner strength. However, it's important to understand that when we talk about taking risks, we're not saying to act recklessly. Stoic philosophy defends the idea of taking risks in a calculated and careful way. This means having in-depth knowledge, wisdom, and fully understanding your specific situation. This thinking is in line with our previous principles of self-knowledge and continuous learning. So remember, accepting risks can open doors to opportunity and growth. Stoics believe that maturity and success cannot be achieved if we always remain in our comfort zone. Facing risks with courage is part of building a meaningful and prosperous life. Courage, patience, and self-control will help you face all challenges with an open attitude and learn from these experiences. This will bring you closer to inner freedom and significant success in life. Fifth principle, stop neglecting your finances. Finances, although often left in the background, play a crucial role in our lives. Stoic philosophy offers a unique perspective on this aspect, challenging the common notion that ignoring certain areas brings happiness. In fact, when it comes to finances, ignorance can result in serious problems. Stoicism, as a life philosophy that emphasizes self-control and a deep awareness of the world around us, highlights the importance of understanding and facing our financial issues head-on. Firstly, it is essential to cultivate a genuine awareness of our financial situation. This goes beyond simply knowing our bank balance. It involves understanding our sources of income, managing our expenses, and tackling our debts proactively. In a world where money is often treated as taboo, Stoicism encourages us to approach our finances with honesty and authenticity. In doing so, we begin to understand not only the nuances of our financial habits, but also the true extent of our financial freedom. Second, by applying Stoic principles to our finances, we develop a resilient and positive mindset around money. Instead of seeing money as a source of anxiety or stress, we learn to see it as a tool to achieve our goals and live a meaningful life. This means taking a proactive approach to financial planning, setting clear goals, and working diligently to achieve them. By aligning our values and priorities with our financial practices, we find a new sense of purpose and peace of mind around money. Third, Stoic philosophy teaches us to cultivate a healthy relationship with financial uncertainty. We recognize that just like in life, we can't always control every aspect of our finances. However, we can learn to accept circumstances beyond our control and focus our energy on what we can influence. This allows us to deal with the ups and downs of financial life with serenity and resilience, rather than being dominated by fear or constant worry. In short, by integrating Stoic principles into our financial lives, we discover a new approach to dealing with money, one that empowers us to face our challenges with courage, clarity, and a deep awareness of our own worth. Imagine that looking at the balance in your bank account goes beyond simply checking numbers. It is an opportunity for reflective self-analysis. When you examine your finances, you not only assess the balance, but you also ask yourself crucial questions. Questions such as, where was this money spent? Could it have been used more wisely? This reflection provides a clear picture of your financial situation and allows you to exercise the self-control necessary to make wiser decisions regarding managing your personal finances. Furthermore, Stoic philosophy is not just restricted to self-control, but also emphasizes the importance of building meaningful connections with others through understanding and empathy. By adopting this perspective, you become more sensitive to the emotions and needs of those around you, especially during difficult times. This not only fosters a mutually supportive environment, but also creates a sense of solidarity among those facing similar financial challenges. Through sharing experiences and exchanging knowledge, you not only find support, but also learn strategies to better face financial difficulties. Furthermore, personal responsibility plays a fundamental role in Stoic philosophy. Taking responsibility for your life, including your finances, is essential for personal growth and development. This means recognizing that you are the manager of your own financial life and that you have the power to shape it in a positive way. By taking on this responsibility, you stop blaming external factors and become the protagonist of your own financial story. This not only strengthens your autonomy, but also increases your ability to make conscious and responsible decisions regarding money. Lastly, we are encouraged to live in full reality. Don't let yourself be carried away by illusions or wrong ideas about money. Instead, carefully examine the truth about your income, expenses, debts, savings, and investments. Remember that you are responsible for your personal finances. Be mindful and take responsibility for your money, using it as a tool to build the life of your dreams. Stop ignoring your finances and start treating them with the care and respect they deserve. Sixth principle: stop neglecting personal growth. In Stoic philosophy, self-development and personal improvement are fundamental. Famous Stoic philosophers such as Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius believed that the path to true happiness lay in soul improvement and spiritual growth. Therefore, living a meaningful and purposeful life is directly linked to our personal development. But what exactly does personal development mean in Stoic philosophy? It is not arbitrary. It is seen as a very important responsibility. We are encouraged to dedicate time and effort to cultivating the soul and developing virtues. The goal is not only to satisfy material needs, but also to become a better and more spiritually rich person every day. Let's see personal development as a great journey. It's not about striving for absolute perfection, but about committing to continuous growth and lifelong learning. We should not demand perfection from ourselves. Instead, we should strive to be better and more virtuous every day. Each new day offers us a new opportunity to improve our soul and cultivate moral virtues. Another important aspect of personal development is self-control. This involves taking responsibility for our personal growth and not letting ourselves be dominated by weaknesses and uncontrollable situations. By exercising self-control, we can effectively expedite our personal progress and adapt to life's challenges. Now, let's explore a common concept that often stops us from reaching our full potential: the comfort zone. This zone is where we feel safe without facing major challenges. It may seem like a pleasant place, where everything is familiar and predictable. However, it is also where we run the risk of stagnating, failing to grow and evolve as individuals. On the other hand, the growth zone is where the magic happens. It's a challenging space where we push ourselves beyond our limits and dedicate ourselves to continuous learning. It is in this space that our spirit and soul find opportunities for expansion and strengthening. The world around us is constantly changing, and if we are content to remain in our comfort zone, we risk falling behind. Just like a shark needs to keep moving to survive, we also need to keep learning to stay relevant and adapted to the changing world. It's understandable to have concerns about the practicality of dedicating time and resources to personal growth, especially when we face time and money constraints. However, in Stoic philosophy, we recognize that the true value of self-control is in making the right choices, even if they are not the easiest. This may mean prioritizing personal development over leisure activities or wasteful spending. By choosing to invest in our own growth and development, we are investing in our future. These learning experiences not only allow us to expand our horizons and acquire new skills, but they also empower us to face life's challenges with more confidence and resilience. Therefore, it is important to cultivate a growth mindset and be willing to step out of our comfort zone in search of our full potential. The important thing is not to make big sacrifices, but to make conscious decisions that are in tune with your long-term goals. According to Stoic philosophy, not neglecting personal growth is a vital part of a meaningful and happy life. It is not just about improving personal skills and knowledge, but also about caring for the spirit and cultivating moral virtues. Personal development is not a final destination, but a continuous journey of spiritual maturity and enrichment. Seventh principle: stop spending more than you can afford. While it sounds simple, it's surprising how often this is ignored in an age of consumerism and excessive advertising. We are often led to think that we need more than we really do. Advertisements often promise that buying a new product or service will bring us happiness and satisfaction. This pressures us to spend more, even when we don't have the necessary financial resources. Stoic philosophy reminds us that true happiness is not in having too many things or in unlimited shopping. Instead, it comes from controlling ourselves and seeking inner happiness. When we stop spending beyond what we can afford, we begin to practice this control, ensuring that our desires do not exceed what we already have. So how can we apply this principle in our everyday lives? It starts by distinguishing between our needs and desires. Basic needs such as food, shelter, and clothing are essential to life, while wants, such as the latest technological gadgets or luxury fashion, are non-essential. When we understand this difference, we can manage our money better. Modern society often involves us in a cycle of uncontrolled consumption, driven by advertising and social influence. Stoic philosophy warns us about this cycle of futile consumption and advises us to avoid it. Instead of seeking happiness through shopping, we should find it in relationships with others, in exploring our personal interests, or in the serenity of a simple life. Imagine having enough reserves to deal with any emergency without panicking. Visualize yourself debt-free, with the financial freedom you need to enjoy more time with your family, explore new passions, or even start your own venture. Conjure up the image of a comfortable retirement without worries about running out of money. These scenarios are not just distant dreams, but entirely achievable achievements when we learn to live within our financial means. Finally, realize that life is not just about accumulating material goods, but also about the search for a happy and serene existence. By living within our financial means, we open the door to pursuing our personal goals, enjoying precious moments with our family and friends, and ensuring a secure financial future. Choosing not to spend more than we can is not only a wise decision from a financial point of view, but also a way of living in tune with Stoic principles, seeking self-control and true happiness in life. By taking a responsible approach to money, we not only ensure our financial stability, but also strengthen our emotional and mental well-being. We realize that true wealth lies not just in our wallets, but in our ability to live a full life, filled with meaning and purpose. Therefore, let us embrace Stoic wisdom and seek harmony between our financial resources and our life goals, paving the way to a more fulfilling existence. When we use Stoic philosophy to manage our money, we can create a happy, balanced, and peaceful life. The eighth Stoic principle reminds us of something fundamental. Change is a constant in life, and resisting it only brings unnecessary suffering. Rather than fighting the currents of change, we are encouraged to accept and even embrace them, recognizing that life is ephemeral and dynamic. It is through our ability to adapt that we truly grow and evolve. Consider this simple fact: the seasons change, the tides rise and fall, the sun rises and sets. All of this is a reminder that life is a continuous flow of change. Just like a river never stays the same, we are constantly in motion. On our journey, it is crucial to learn to flow with the current of life rather than resist its flow. When we resist change, we hold on to the past and refuse to embrace the present and the future. This prevents us from growing and adapting to new circumstances. Instead, we must learn to adjust to change, finding opportunities for growth and learning in each new situation. By accepting the transitory nature of life, we can find a sense of inner peace and balance. Instead of clinging to what has already passed, we can embrace what is to come, confident that we are capable of handling whatever challenge life throws at us. So let's stop resisting change and start embracing it as opportunities to grow, evolve, and live a fuller, more meaningful life. When it comes to our money, this principle tells us that things are always changing. New areas of work appear while others become less important. Interest rates rise and fall, and the job market transforms. Even though it is difficult, we should not fight these changes. We need to learn to deal with them. This resistance to change can appear in different ways. It could be not wanting to admit that the type of work we do is decreasing, and not seeking to learn new things. It could be continuing to invest money in the same way even if it's not working well, or it could be being afraid to try something new with our money and miss the chance to earn more. So what should we do? To face change, Stoic philosophy gives us 4 simple pieces of advice. First, we need to change the way we think. We must understand that changes can bring good things and help us grow. Just as a caterpillar turns into a butterfly, change can open doors to new things. Second, we need to learn more. When we know more, we are less scared about changes. We must learn about how money works, where to invest, and how to deal with changes in the economy. Third, we need to see things in a balanced way. Changes can bring good and bad things. Losing a job can lead us to a new path. Losing money on an investment can teach us something important, and financial difficulties can make us more patient and wise. Finally, we need to be flexible. We cannot be like trees that break in a storm. We must be like bamboo, which bends and adapts. Being flexible with our money helps us deal with changes in the economy. Remember, the world is always changing and we are like artists, painting our own picture of financial success with a positive mindset, knowledge, balance, and flexibility. Embracing change is not only important for being successful with money, but also for living an exciting and fulfilling life, growing, learning, and becoming a better person. It's like exploring the different pages of life and discovering your full potential. Therefore, it is important to stop fighting against change. We must accept them, as they are what lead us to true freedom and happiness. After we explore the principles of Stoicism that can boost your journey to financial success and a meaningful life, it's crucial to remember that you hold the power to shape your own existence. Stoicism, like a compass, lights the way for this journey. As we conclude this chapter of Stoicism's definitive guide to a happy life, it is critical to internalize that the search for true happiness is a journey in itself, not a final destination to be reached in a single moment. The wisdom of Stoicism transcends merely acquiring knowledge. It's about experiencing the teachings in our daily lives. It's about cultivating small daily changes that, over time, completely transform our perspective on the world and our role in it. Just like a river that sculpts the landscape over the years, our daily choices and practices gradually shape who we are and how we experience life. On this journey, it is important to recognize that each step, no matter how small, contributes to our evolution. Every challenge faced, every decision made with integrity, and every moment of self-reflection brings us a little closer to true fulfillment. Therefore, as we say goodbye to this chapter, let us take with us not only the knowledge gained, but the commitment to apply it in our daily lives, nurturing the flame of inner transformation and the continuous search for genuine happiness. After delving into the principles of Stoicism, from facing challenges to finding serenity in the present moment, it's time for you to put these valuable lessons into practice in your own life. It is essential to remember that true happiness does not derive from material achievements or possessions, but rather from the strength of our character and the peace of mind we cultivate. Take time each day to reflect on your progress, cultivate gratitude for what you have, and recognize the power you have to create happiness in your life and the lives of those around you. We sincerely thank you for joining us on this journey of self-discovery and personal growth. May the teachings of Stoicism guide you toward a life filled with purpose, resilience, and genuine joy. Stay firm on this path, continue your evolution, and continue exploring the infinite potential that resides within you to live a truly full and happy existence. Always remember, the journey to happiness is an ongoing process, and you are in charge of your own destiny.